Woobity woobity woobity.
Hello, YouTube. We are live for a pre-show, and Dale barfing on the internet.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light.
Lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight. Doom 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 doom.
Yes, that.
Bum, bum,
That
bum,
was.
da, da, da.
I don't know why, but when I was younger, I always liked the full-size Muppets.
No way, man. Muppet Babies were the way to go.
Righto.
Oh, Nanny, may your legs live on in infamy.
Right?
Muppet babies who make our dreams come true.
Hold on. I got a thing.
Muppet babies.
And yeah, I agree, Raul. The large Muppets were some of the best ones, especially Sweetums.
But like, I liked them because all
Little
the
Sweetums.
things that went into those large puppets, because it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
they were wearing like a Radio Shack on their head,
Basically.
and it wasn't just one puppeteer. You had like three, because you actually had the actor inside, and then all the ones operating everything else. I
Mhm.
just thought they were so awesome.
This
Guys,
could be
Twitch is
very
offline.
bad, very good. Hold on.
Next time your parents fight, I'll meet you on the roof. I'll be the one you need me when you see me, that's the proof. Every time you feel lonely.
It's not what I thought it was.
Dear God, what was that?
Yeah, but Jazz was really jamming out.
Was that MC Chris?
That was MC Chris.
Say Chris.
Jazz.
Jazz has
What?
10 points.
10 points to Gryffindor.
10 points for Jazz and Door, or however that works.
Look at that. Gryffindor has the protagonist. 50 points to Gryffindor.
There it is.
The return of Duckstep.
Epic return of Duckstep. Of
No,
course, if
it-
I accidentally
That,
run on
that
it,
never
it's-
needs to be a thing again.
I'm
Duckstep.
sorry. What was that? More Duckstep?
Don't you make me pull out what I was putting on before, CJ. Don't you dare.
I'm not doing it!
It needs
Oh.
to. That Duckstep needs to go on the soundboard. It just does.
Oh, CJ,
What?
follow alert for Twitch.
Oh?
Yes, and it just
Oh,
like
the
rains
no!
ducks.
No!
Yes, the follow alert.
And we can do the video too. Is anyone
Wait,
actually?
When we get up there to be able to start taking bits, we'll do that then, okay?
Yay.
Sure.
Speaking of, this bit that I'm trying to do here is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
We're still offline on Twitch too.
No. Shouldn't be.
Uh-huh.
I have the Twitch tab open right now.
Warning.
Uh-huh.
Wrong keyframe interval. What?
I didn't touch it.
You know.
Somebody reset the switch again.
What the fuck does that mean?
Someone reset the stream. Yay.
What the fuck does that mean?
What does actually that mean? Hang on. Do you want me to? I can.
Restream keyframe interval. I don't know what that means.
Experiencing technical
I had
difficulties, please stand by.
I had trouble with that. Is that in your? Is that on the thing or is that in the thing?
It's in the OBS. I gotta figure out where to fix that. I'm doing this from my other computer because I noticed like some weird crap going on when I did everything from the streaming computer. So that's the reason why there's two of me in the Hangout.
My hair is weird.
Keyframe interval is the number
Your
of
hair
seconds.
looks fabulous, Dale.
Keyframes in your broadcast. Setting the keyframe interval too high will degrade the quality of your broadcast. A keyframe of 2 seconds is recommended for most services.
This is what happens when I stay in the sun all day. Is my hair goes like whatever this is.
Okay, I don't. What? What does that mean?
Your bit rate is
It
too
means
high.
what it
isn't it?
means. Duh.
Your settings 7. How do? What?
How does I shot web?
I don't understand what this is.
I'm in XSplit, and mine's set at 3. I don't understand.
All right, so in OBS, how do I change that? It should be output, and there should be a 7 somewhere, but there's not.
Video encoding? Question mark.
Video. All right, so I'm gonna stop streaming because I'm not streaming anyway.
Go to output.
Outputs.
Coding on XSplit, so it's got to be a video thing.
Enable advanced encoding. No.
I think I still have OBS installed. Great pre-show for the.
Now we just went online somehow. What?
Wasn't me.
It's all fine now. Nothing to see here. Continue on. Everything's fine. How are you?
Right. Please wait while the Geek IO show.
Oh, CJ. Wait. CJ, you're in OBS, right?
Yes.
Go to output. Output mode, advance.
Enable advanced output. Oh, okay. I see. All right.
And then keyframe intervals in the middle.
Oh. 0. It says 0 is for auto. Fine. I'll just put it at 2. Because apparently it went to 7, which is too much. I overpowered Restream.
It's too much.
Hey,
Never crank it to 7, man. Never crank it to 7.
you want to talk about weird hair, Dale?
Uh-oh. I
Oh,
don't
is
know if I
it?
like
Not who?
That's
This is
me.
not- That's you. Okay. I thought
All right,
you
we're
were linking to.
connecting. We're connecting.
Oh, there you go. That's a weird hair though. That is weird hair though.
That's what happens when an Irish American person goes on a cruise ship. Cruise ships are windy.
That's
All right,
your
on Mixer.
That's
Well,
Mother
there's
Nature's fault. Harry, that's Mother Nature's fault. This is my
Mother's
fault.
Nature's?
Mother's Nature's. We
That's
should
cool.
theoretically be online now.
We are. I see
theoretically.
it live.
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
Yeah. I fixed it. Thank you, Raul.
Yes, you mean Raul fixed it.
I don't have OBS. Plus,
I get-
that would require voice.
I will send you my Oh, wait.
I bet you don't do that. PM.
Offline.
Abort mission. Are we're back off being offline.
Are we?
Yeah. Hey, do you want me to try?
God damn it. Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
Kind
Stop.
of better. Can
I'm not showing any dropped frames or anything.
Please check your settings in test bandwidth button. What? Now we're getting a test bandwidth button issue. Sure, why not?
It wouldn't be Thursday night if we didn't have It wouldn't be Thursday night if we didn't have issues that didn't exist literally 24 hours ago.
Hey, I see Dale on the Twitch. And we're offline
yeah,
as soon as
that's-
that stuff went on.
I knew that, but how's that gonna work? That's just gonna be a picture of me.
It's Duckstep's fault. Clearly.
Don't you blame Duckstep. Duckstep is perfect and beautiful.
Capture the Hangout window.
Okay, I'll figure that out. But it won't let me do it. It's got 10 seconds remaining.
That's the reason why you have to have 2. You
Yeah,
have to
I
have
know.
XSplit is your camera, and then OBS is your spitting.
Do you want me to just... I can only stream to Twitch. Do you want me to just stream to Twitch?
You know, if only you use that information that I put into a document, and I've told you that 3 times now, and you would have the correct stream key to go to Restream to get everywhere. But sure, get us on Switch.
Love you. We love you, CJ. We love our bread. We love our butter. And most of all, CJ.
Oh, no, that browser source. Window capture.
This is gonna be great. We're gonna have 5 different notifications. And that should be working. I think I
Yeah,
should have it
we're on.
working. You guys, we got it working. How exciting! Yay! It's just trying to figure out how to do this. How do I do this? Okay, so if I, oh, you know what I could do? Talk about yourself.
I'm seeing something.
No one else talking, and I'm the only one filling in space.
Well, this is the fun technical issues pre-show.
Welcome to my hell.
Welcome to the technical issues pre-show, everyone.
Sure. Apparently dropping frames, but okay.
Dropping frames.
Dropping frames, yo.
This brings. It would help if I were talking into my microphone that wasn't muted.
No, we
This
don't
brings
need
up a good point.
DJ.
DJ.
Okay.
Sorry. I should have just created a new scene. This is
What is that?
BuzzFeed.
All right. CJ, I'm gonna go live on it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to stop it? I'll stop it.
Yeah.
I'll stop. Okay, there we go. By the way, GLS pre-show. Pick 6 colors, and we'll tell you when you're getting married. Tune in Sundays. GLS pre-show.
All right, so I don't need to be on my extra one, so I might just drop that one from there. All right.
Okay. Turns out I need to add that to my to-do list. Hey, Dale, do things.
Wait, did you reset the stream key, CJ?
No, I did not.
Hey, hey.
Okay, I think we're on now.
What?
Give it a few seconds for it to.
I just realized I was the BuzzFeed's quiz. Does anyone want to do that quiz real quick? Oh, we went too late.
Up.
I see
We
something.
have something.
I think we're live. Maybe.
Possibly,
Yeah.
potentially.
Yes, we are live.
Yeah, we are. Oh.
Hey.
All right.
Yay.
Hey, this is why we have 2 producers. Now you know.
Oh, look. We're live.
You know what? I do have the restream profile, but I don't know if it's active.
Probably if you haven't changed it. I've actually changed it recently.
We can talk about that later.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, this just reminds me. Hey, CJ. Next time we're all hanging out in real life, can you show me how streaming works?
I can teach you how to stream. Yes.
Thank you.
Teach me how to streamy. Teach me how to streamy.
Stream me like your French girls.
When we're all in real life.
Show me like your French girl.
Is this the
I might have to. I'll teach Dale how to stream while we're all together too, because he doesn't know how to
It's
do
just
that.
fantasy.
I know how to do it.
Caught in a hangout, no escape from this sing-along.
It's not my fault.
Open your lines.
Halfway
Open
through.
your browser.
Oh,
the video.
did you see those
Enable your
65,000
cameras.
Green Day fans singing Bohemian Rhapsody?
I told. Can you pause that?
Fucking ads.
What?
It's fun because we actually have his permission to play his stuff. So
That's amazing.
so take that ID content bullcrap.
That's fine. They'll still block us.
Speaking of, paint me like one of your French ladies. I have a friend who works at the Bronx Zoo, and she posted the picture that I just gave to you guys in Slack yesterday. It made me laugh.
So,
I love gorillas so
interesting.
much.
There's an interesting thing I found out, CJ.
What?
If you stream to Twitch,
Yeah.
you have to wait 24 hours before you repost it to somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
That does not sound right.
No, not at all.
Sorry, I know I'm in a cocky mood today, but that does not sound right.
Yeah, because one of the streamers I
How do they stop
follow,
you from doing that?
he has a podcast on Sunday night, but he can't post the VOD until same time.
Oh, it's a video on demand thing. Okay, it's a Twitch and video on demand thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this ball rolling because our rant reviews are always a long show. So, going in 3, 2, 1.
You are listening to a podcast of the Geek.io Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geek.io.
Hello, gentle listener. While Geek.io holds its talent to the highest standards, what follows will likely involve the sort of language usually reserved for sailors on leave. If you're of a delicate disposition, then perhaps you would consider a different podcast.
Let's see how far this is going to get us before we get muted.
Nothing.
You're the Spider-Man from YouTube.
I'm not.
You were on the ceiling.
I wasn't. Ned, what are you doing in my room? Man, let me in. You said we're gonna finish a Death Star.
She doesn't know.
Nobody knows. Well, I mean, Mr. Stark knows because he made my suit, but that's it.
Tony Stark made you that. Are you an Avenger?
Yeah, basically.
This is the Geek.io Rant and Review with your host, CJ Boat, Jared Azevedo, Raul Garza, and everyone's favorite Aussie, Dale Campbell. This week, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Wants to go to the homecoming dance, but he can't because great power becomes great responsibility. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
That intro was beautiful.
I love intros.
I don't know. It seemed to be missing some people, but whatever.
We also don't have new ones for like when Dale's not on, or like even Rachel's not on there. So.
I know. I need to update the list.
You do.
It keeps growing, and
because we're the
Wu-Tang. Carrie and Josh are consistent, so you know.
Yeah. And we're the Wu-Tang Clan of podcasts, so I mean, there's that.
We are indeed. So
Expanding.
I have to expand that intro by like 30 seconds. Just to list all the people.
Right.
Adding
so
the runtime? What are you talking about?
No, we would never do that. Speaking of, hello and welcome to the Geek.io Show, episode number 205. Our rant and review of Spider Dude Home Duping. Recorded the 20th of July, 2017. I am your host, CJ. Thankfully, we didn't go through all of the tropes once again, Boat.
And I'm Jared. Any day that ends in a churro is a good day, as Vito.
I'm Raul, guy in the chair, Garza.
I'm Dale. I'm Dale. I would so get detention just to stare at a Captain America video, Campbell.
I'm Rachel. I didn't realize that I probably should have gotten off my butt and written something tonight.
I'm Karen. Turn on Instakill, Wilcox.
Nice.
And I'm Josh. I will never let kangaroo jerking die, McGrath.
2 weeks, Joshua! 2 weeks!
What's that have to do with Spider-Man?
It doesn't, and that's why Josh did it. It's because he knows it bothers me.
That's fine. I'm sure he'll find a way to.
Just some of the many services I offer.
He'll find a way to make it fit.
Rating, kangaroo jerking. There you go. That should have been your thing.
Yeah, he'll tie Spider-Man to kangaroo jerking before the night is through. I promise.
Well, I mean, there's going to be a lot of white sticky stuff involved, regardless.
Exactly.
For the record, ladies and gentlemen, I was not the one to make that joke.
All right, so this is Spider-Man Homecoming. Is everybody ready for the very visual trailer in an audio format?
Go for it.
Sure.
Always.
Sure, why not?
Subtitle it.
There's literally no
What's up,
words.
guys?
There we go.
Come in
Describe the scene.
an interview.
Do me a favor.
Tony Stark in car.
Neighborhood Spider-Man.
He said the thing. Splash.
Stay close to the ground.
He's on the sky.
You're the Spider-Man.
Raul's in the room. I mean, that guy looks like Raul when he was young.
Young Raul.
Do you know him too?
Stole his shield.
Can I
I
tell
stole his shield. Captain America. A scene cut from the movie.
Powerful, like Stark. They don't care about us.
Batman being bad.
Time we change too.
The Marriott in Atlanta, also cut from the movie.
The flying monster guy.
The end of the movie,
The illegal weapons barrier was at 2:30. You missed it.
where Nacho gets messed up. More Batman being bad. Him being 98% effective.
Flying types aren't effective against bug type.
A scene calling back to Spider-Man 1.
I was just trying to be like you. I wanted you to be better. I'm gonna need the suit back.
Grumpy Dad Iron Man is best Iron Man.
About this suit.
Oh
then you
yeah,
shouldn't.
that's not.
The best version of Tony Stark.
Carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders.
I want you to understand. I'll do anything to protect my
More Batman being bad. There's Shocker wannabe.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
The awesome hoodie Spider-Man outfit.
Because I will kill you and everybody you love.
My friend's up there.
That girl from Shake It Up being weird.
The guy is still out there.
Take it up.
Gotta do this on my own.
Airplane stuff.
Just don't do anything stupid.
Spider-Man trying to be Superman.
Yeah.
Now awkward hugging. Nope, no awkward hugging. All right. The very, very visual.
What about the scene with Spider-Man swinging through the city and Iron Man flying behind him that wasn't in the movie?
Right?
Not that trailer.
No, that was the second. This was the second trailer. So by then, I was probably already cut from the movie.
Right.
I'm glad
We're gonna
that they-
give you this epic shot and then not use it. Sorry, everyone.
I'm glad Iron Man wasn't as in it as most of the trailers were.
Right? Yeah. They made it really. The trailers
I
really
was
made it
fine with
seem like it was Spider-Man and Iron Man buddy cop movie.
I would pay to see that though.
Right? No, absolutely. I was on board with that, and I'm even more on board with what we got. But I was totally 100% on board with that, with the idea of a Iron Man and Spider-Man buddy cop movie.
See,
But,
that's the
um,
next
Canyon
movie.
billionaire philanthropist playboy.
I mean, in lore, is Spider-Man as smart as Tony Stark?
Yes. Yeah, except he just never has the money. Spider-Man's worst villain is poverty.
Well, that and being 14, 15 years old.
Well, even when all right, so he's the one who designed his own web fluid, so he knows he's always been very intelligent when it comes to chemistry. This is not even just including this movie, but except when in the 90s when they did the bad mistake of creating organic web shooters, he's always made his own. Exactly, that never existed. The 90s never happened.
Wait, whoa, hold on.
90s Spider-Man never happened. We never got we never got the clone saga. Like, it ended at Gwen Stacy dying, him getting with Mary Jane, and then like something happened, and then they were married, and then they weren't married. But we don't talk about that either.
No.
We don't talk about One More Day. We do not talk about One More Day.
One more day. One more day.
I am okay. Business first up front. My very first comic book was the Death of Gwen Stacy collection. So, like, I am a huge, gigantic Spider-Man nerd, and like, yes. So, yes. So just that goes up front. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. So yeah, again, Spider-Man: Homecoming, only in cinemas right now. Give it a couple of weeks; it'll be on. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to go on Netflix or not because of it being a weird Sony joint. Peter Parker, with help of his mentor Tony Stark, tries to balance his life as an ordinary high school student in New York City while fighting crime as his superhero alter ego, the Spider-Man, when a new threat emerges.
The Spider-Man.
The Spiderman.
Spooderman.
Spiderman. That's Spiderman.
Spooderman.
Oh,
Joel
Spider-Man.
Joel Spiderman.
Flip.
Woo! Yeah!
That guy.
So many great little moments like that in that movie.
Yes.
It was a fun
that whole
movie.
moment made me feel like they were making some weird like YouTube in joke that I'm too old to get.
No, it was just him being a high school student and like wanting to be liked by people. So somebody said do a flip. I'm not doing anything right now, so I'll do a flip. Sure, why the hell not?
Yeah, that guy's voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Neighborhood montage.
Hello, Spider-Man. Do a flip, Spider-Man.
Do a battle roll, Spider-Man. I'm sure you could.
Right? So this only came out on July 7th this year. This is what we do with Marvel and DC movies. We get them and we watch them in theaters. It's the only time that we force Jazz to. This is the only time Jazz gets to go to the movie theaters is when we do these Marvel and DC movies. So
Well, man, if you'd stop getting banned from so many of them.
Marvel ones.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't go watch DC movies because, well,
I wanted to see Wonder Woman. It just didn't work out.
You really should.
Tom Holland as
I still want to.
We have Tom Holland as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. We have I don't know if I want to call him best Batman. Best live action Batman, Michael Keaton.
No,
Adrian
best Batman for angry Batman voice Batman.
He didn't really have a Batman voice though. Like,
you want to get
Yes, he
nuts? Let's get nuts.
yeah, I guess.
Best
Robert,
Best not Christian Bale Batman voice.
yeah, we don't Batman voice. That does not work anymore. I'm sorry. We have Robert Downey Jr. as, of course, doing his Tony
Robert
Stark.
Downey Jr.
Yep, big
As
Robert
Iron Dad.
as Iron Dad.
Iron Dad. I so want that to be the sequel.
Marissa Tomei as being May Parker.
Still hot.
And the director of the first Iron Man movie still is Happy Hogan, aka Jon Favreau.
Oh,
Hey.
and can we say who Ned
Keep him busy.
played, or who played Ned? Jacob Baton. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Oh yeah, young Raul.
Young Lau.
Man, that was such a
Raul Garza.
contrast to.
He looks exactly like you, Raul. I'm sorry, like he looks exactly like I imagine you being in high school. Like this is not a.
CJ, does that mean you could also see Raul coming over to, like, let's say you're his best friend over your house, be like,
Yeah.
build a Death Star Legos with me, please?
Oh, absolutely no. Like I imagine this would be if Raul and I went to the same high school. This would be me and him. Like there's no doubt in my mind. And no, this is not a all vaguely Hispanic people look the same. No, like skin tone wise, cheekbone wise, he even has the same forehead slope as you do, Raul. So this is not a.
You're making me self-conscious now, CJ.
This is not a people of color look-alike thing. This is a dude that looks exactly like Raul, and it's freaked me out the entire freaking movie.
I was sitting there
the man in the chair.
wondering why this kid looks so familiar, and now I know.
It's Raul 10 years ago.
No, I like the fact I could. But the funny thing is, I can imagine Raul being in the library and being all guy in the chair. Woo! I went spin around.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Looking at porn.
Raul already is the guy in the chair doing that, though.
No, it's
I
the.
used to do that back in junior high. I used to just sit in the chair and just go.
Mendoza.
There you go.
Comes in and tells you that there's a dance going on, and then you just go, I'm just looking at porn, and then she goes, because you really shouldn't. Moving on.
Also, most very likely the last Stanley cameo. I don't think he's filmed the ones for Infinity War, but it's almost a guarantee at this point that this was
the Stanley cameo in this
The
one.
best one. He had 3 lines.
Yeah, he had 3 lines. It was,
full lines. Which is the most
And
I think you've had in a while.
yeah, this is the most they've had in any movie. It also the perfect.
He had a couple in Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah, true.
And in the
That's true. He did have the scene at the very end too.
Yeah,
where he actually had like lines, but like for his little cameo thing, I think that is.
What was the cameo in this one? I'm trying to remember.
The cranky old guy in the window.
Yeah, it was the dude in the window.
Yeah.
in the window.
Stopping the guy who he thought was stealing a car.
And this was, and I like that they did it really early, so they just get it out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that was just the best
Spider-Maning montage.
Yes.
Spider-Maning montage.
Better, a lot better than the first Spider-Man montage that they did.
Spider-Man
But
montage.
As a technical origin story, well done. Like, but oh, right, I have to read trivia now. Trivia. In an interview in 2013 while promoting his upcoming film How I Live Now, How I Live Now, in 2013, Tom Holland was asked by a reporter what kind of role he might want to try next. When Holland replied, saying a project with action and humor would be of interest to him, the reporter asked if he would ever like to play a superhero. Maybe Spider-Man in 10 years' time, answered Holland. The reboot of the reboot, if they do that.
Hashtag foreshadowing.
Hashtag foreshadowing. First live-action Spider-Man film where his costume has resizable visors, providing more expressiveness in his appearance, and in accordance to the comics. Yes, this is very much so Dan Slott eyes, and I love Dan Slott eyes on the Spider-Mans.
Realistic.
The scene which Peter, through sheer force of will, lifts the machinery, pinning him down after the Vulture forces the structure. Oh, by the way, spoilers. Forces the structure to collapse in on him is a nod to a scene in Amazing Spider-Man number 33 in which he does the same thing. The panels of the comics are considered to be the most iconic in Spider-Man's history. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was rooting for him in the movie theater. Like,
Right?
Yes.
You can do it.
It evoked that kind of feeling in you.
Yes. This is the first Spider-Man where the special effects for the character are not being produced by another company affiliated with Spony. The rights holders to Spider-Man. Industrial Light and Magic, which handles much of these effects for the Marvel Cinematic Universe film series, produced the special effects, and that's why they look better than any other movie of Spider-Man ever.
Wait, Industrial Light and Magic didn't Lucas create that?
Yeah, that's the Star Wars company.
Yeah, that
Now-
Disney owns now.
No, owned by Disney.
By Disney.
Like everything else we love.
The whole Lucas umbrella, it's like Industrial Light and Magic, Lucas Games.
Yeah. And which of my lady friends wants to read the best line in the entire movie?
Right. It depends on which one it is.
Somebody.
It's the one that
I think Rachel would love to read that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not a squeaker toy,
Oh, yeah.
CJ, actually, Carrie, would you set the stage for that? Because, Peter's standing in his bedroom. The door's
Got his Spider-Man suit back. He's so excited. Mask off. Aunt May comes around the corner.
Mask on.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
It was more like, what the...
Doesn't actually say. She does not actually say the last word. Because
It was... Yeah, exactly. It was, what the fuck? Hey!
Hey!
Oh, they were like middle of the...
Because
the
if you've ever
rating
noticed,
was-
Aunt May does not ever use foul language. That is one of the keys about Aunt May. She never curses.
Well, that's also old doddering Aunt May. This is very much so Ultimate Universe Aunt May, and
But
she
if you-
doesn't give a, hey, ho, let's go.
But that's the thing. They have never let her drop an F-bomb. She said a couple, words, shall we say. Couple dirty innuendos with Iron Man.
Sentence
But-
accentuators.
Colorful adjectives may or may not have been used. But she never actually dropped the F-bomb. That is the first time you actually see her going, what the fuck?
Hey, ho, let's go.
Ho, let's go. Hey, ho, let's
So
go.
in a lot of ways, as much as we love, like I used to love old crotchety Aunt May. I adore young Aunt May, and the fact that they're keeping a lot of the same personality traits that she has makes me happy. But they're just making her a little more time and space relevant.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
The
if you
fact
go
that
for
everybody and their grandfather wants her.
But if you go for a younger Spider,
Tony Stark does not make it, any easier to get through certain car rides with him. Poor child.
I still wanted Tony Stark asking Aunt May out for dinner. Like that's what I was hoping would be involved in this.
Well, if he's holding up anything to whoever that lady
Can you keep your head canon to yourself?
Yeah.
Nope. This is my show, damn it. If I want to head canon over people's faces, I will.
Do you
He
know?
probably would have, but apparently he got back together with Pepper.
Yeah, and now he's like engaged to her. I mean, so
Yeah, it's like
you
happy.
assume.
Yes, I've been carrying this thing around since 2008.
yeah, I know. It was
Wink, wink,
fantastic.
nudge, nudge.
The best Iron Man coming out. Not
One of those moments you go, I see what you did there. Yay, continuity.
or something.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Really, we're not going to go any of the Vulture's lines.
No, just that.
My favorite
because that's the
scene.
only worthwhile line.
Okay, no. I'll save it for the rant and review part.
Exactly. So, all right, production side of things is what we do on the top part of this show.
Vulture's Vulture's costume was amazing.
Yes,
Like
I had a
really
lot of
dug it.
doubts about this costume.
So freaking good.
Yes,
I
liked how the helmet came down to a point, but it was practical. It just wasn't like there just for show.
Yeah, none of those for show. He had the little bombardier jacket because he's an old dude with a cool jacket. It was just a jacket because he's flying high in the air.
Well, I
and
mean,
he
no,
needs a jacket.
he's gonna get cold flying like that.
Exactly.
The jacket is there for a reason.
They
He's got a reason for
actually
the
made it believable, not just like this one dude was up. He's going up into atmospheric temperatures. It's freaking cold up there, and there's less oxygen. So the mask that they gave him more than likely had an oxygen tank attached to it, or some kind of purification, extra oxygen for him.
Mhm.
The bomber jacket, let's make sure we keep him warm. Like he even had, I think at one point he was wearing like heavy duty combat boots too, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
No, I didn't pay
And
attention to his boots.
He
But
was wearing
probably.
thicker pants, and you could see that they were thick, heavyweight pants. So it's like, okay. Oh, and the gloves. He had the gloves on too.
Yeah, he looks like somebody who's going to be flying around, like you said, in atmospheric temperatures.
Not a bald guy in a green leotard.
Right?
Right? Yeah. It's like I mean, Vulture's always been weird, considering Vulture is canonically speaking also Spider-Man's first villain. Like, and it's always been a crotchety old man.
Always.
Well, they're not crotchety and old, right?
Sorry, who happens to be the mother of the daughter who he asked to the dance.
Yeah,
And
let's talk about that for
Spoilers.
like 30 seconds, because CJ's like, holy shit, I was not expecting that. I'm like,
Yeah, well,
kind
yeah,
of
everybody-
figured that was part of it, because he's got to have that little connectivity and that little like what is it, almost making this villain a little on the too human side, and that's exactly what that did, because that was a now what do I do, because the girl that I've got this massive crush on, who really likes me back, holy shit, she likes me, her dad is kind of a douchebag, and I really have to kind of get rid of him.
But was he really that bad? I mean,
That's the thing.
hello, do you not remember him slicing a boat in half?
Well, that was.
Well, yes,
That
Parker had
wasn't-
something to do with it, but it was his weaponry that did it.
It was his weaponry that did it, but it was the weapon malfunctioning that cut the boat in half.
Yes,
The
and if he
only
hadn't have
really
been playing
cool
with,
thing that they
alien
did-
crap in the first place, it wouldn't have happened.
True. I think that's more on the rant side of things, though. So
Yeah.
But he did
Yeah.
explode shocker number one.
he
So again,
thought
that
it was a
was
different weapon.
It was out, but then he was like, oh well.
I thought that was anti-gravity. No, that's the anti-gravity.
That's the anti-gravity one there. That
By
was
the
that
way,
better.
best thing that dude from Orange is the New Black has done in a while.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, too soon.
Not soon enough, if you ask me. Oh, and Mendoza as a school teacher, which that's hilarious.
But no, I
Yes.
think it speaks to the quality of how well this was written and put together, of the shock of of the Vulture being her dad. Because number one, that's a super stupid tropey thing, and it should be dumb and tropey. But because they do it so well, they earn it. And you're like, and it came out of nowhere, and I was not expecting it. Totally blindsided me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why didn't I?" Of course, that's what's supposed to happen. Because like when he opened the door at first, I was like, "Oh no, he figured out who Spider-Man is, and now he's holding Liz hostage."
Vulture has always known who Spider-Man is. I'm glad they continued that story, by the way. And it's always been a stupid way that he's discovered it, too. Like, it's never been, like, through Doc Ock where he does, you know, incredible detective-like things. No, it's always been, like, Vulture just happens to be flying by the same window that sees Spider-Man taking off his outfit. Like...
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's my daughter.
Look at that.
Talk about a smart villain.
Yeah, right?
Oh my god.
Wait, you mean villains can put 2 and 2 together?
No.
What?
No, but also Michael Keaton's acting was amazing.
Yeah, the whole scene in the car. That's why you get Michael Keaton. Stuff
It's
like
okay, it's time for me to have the dad
Michael
chat.
Keaton all over the place.
The dad chat?
And of course,
yeah,
the voice is like, oh, Dad, please, really?
Are you doing this to me?
It's okay that this has to happen.
Ah, dang it! It's so well
I'm
acted.
going to kill you if you do
It all makes sense.
And then he escalates it immediately, pulls the gun from the glove box.
Yeah, right? Like, no, just kind of pseudo-threatening. Nope.
No, it's like, does she know? What? No, what? I take that as a no.
Okay, good. She doesn't. All right, look, he saved her life, so I owe you one. But if you get in my way again, I'm gonna kill you. Fair warning.
Basically.
Right. So that's But side Jag, I can we talk about the homecoming thing for a second? Just because you ask someone to homecoming doesn't make them you two immediately entering into a relationship, does it?
No.
That's a dad thing. I think CJ and Jared will agree that if somebody's asking their daughter out on hey, can you come to homecoming with me? That is a date. I don't care if you're in a relationship or not, but you will lose your scrotal sac if you touch my child.
Hey, no, it's because I went to homecoming alone. I was reminded of that. Thanks, Spider-Man Homecoming. Hashtag thanks, Spider-Man Homecoming. No, well, being the only gay dude in the school, you get that.
Well,
Ouch, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I went. I had the most epic homecoming entrance ever. I went.
If it makes you feel better, Dale, I never went to. No, I went to one homecoming by myself, and I was just like, this.
I know, but I was the biggest party there. It was like, hey, I'm free. I don't have to look after anyone else. Yeah, all the rest of it.
Free to be Dale.
Free to be Dale.
That's going in the show title.
That's going in the show title. Yeah, and then there was because the entryway with the bread delivery truck, people thought, oh, there's a delivery in the middle of the rifles. What the hell is going on here? And then I walk out on this little scissor lift thing that takes 3 minutes to get from the top of the truck to the ground.
Is there video of this?
There needs to be.
There's no. Leave
Were
that
you
with
wearing
me.
the hat?
Talk
Were you
for
wearing
a
the hat?
moment. No, I wasn't wearing the hat. I'll look that up. But anyway, I was reminded of homecoming when that homecoming scene happened. Favorite homecoming moments during the Geek IO show.
Yeah, I was looking for this video.
Of course he is.
I don't think there's a video anywhere, but there should be photos. I'm looking for photos. We all stopped talking while I look for a photo. Is that
exactly what happened?
Please go look at the photo.
How about you don't do that? Don't do that.
You were just so enthralled by your story, Dale.
And another thing, let's go back to Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh yeah.
It did have that line of seriousness and funny that the first Spider-Man was not able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the San Raimi.
It was a much lighter feeling.
Like the closest one that came to this one was Spider-Man 2, but even then, it still had that
We
kind
don't
of
discuss those Spider-Men.
No, Spider-Man 2 is a good movie. Like on all accounts, Spider-Man 2, the original, is good.
There you go.
Spider-Man 1 is all right. Spider-Man 3 never happened. And Amazing Spider-Man.
Anything beyond does not exist. Does not
Spider-Man.
compute.
Am I the only person
Anthony
on the
Garfield,
planet?
he's that guy from that war movie, right? The
Am I the only person on the planet that likes Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yes.
I don't know. I honestly have not seen the Amazing Spider-Man movies because no
It
one
was
has
not my
given me reason to watch them.
It was not my favorite superhero movie, but I was entertained. I had fun.
Blue Jamie Fox.
Yes, that's
What were you saying, Josh?
Beauty box?
Yeah, but even though it was a blue Jamie Foxx, it was a very interestingly acted character because it was a good display of someone with genuine mental issues.
True.
Like,
True.
he was not a bad guy because he was, evil. He was hearing voices. The man was schizophrenic and given
yes.
superpowers. That's not a good combination.
That's not a good combination for you. That's a fabulous combination for me.
Yeah, it's a great combination for the audience. I don't know about the
The
person
voice
going.
just tells me to kill you all. I'm kidding. That's not what they said.
Oh my Dale.
It's the best thing ever.
I think I made Raoul very happy there.
Dale coming
Dale, I
down.
love it.
Okay, we call that a
Is that how we
Tommy.
do Homecoming? Yeah, is that how we do it in Homecoming
That's Homecoming.
in Australia?
I know that was me with months of planning. But yeah, there you go.
Months.
I love that it's tip top.
Tip top.
Tip top's the one.
Tip top.
Tip top's the one. Go buy your bread products or however that works. Like the guy in the background there in the blue shorts is just going, "What the hell is going on?"
These strange feelings are rising up inside me. Is this what one does to too much dough?
No. Anyway, moving on.
I like how the delivery guy's just acting like it's a normal delivery.
It's all good.
Yeah, I know.
Ain't
I'm gonna
nothing.
link to
Just another day in Australia.
Right?
Just another day. Yeah.
At least it's not the shipment of kangaroos this time.
It's not like I'm defending my house with a chainsaw. That's a very inside joke that only 2 people on this podcast.
Well, you need to have the chainsaw to keep the kangaroos out.
Might be a better choice.
See, there you go. Right, there's the whole photo album. Enjoy yourselves.
Right.
Oh, we have.
All right. Anyway,
I mean, as per like normal production value, like this is, I mean, it's a Marvel movie. At this point, like having a discussion about production is moot.
Pretty movie end.
Yeah, I mean, I will give Tom Holland this. He has an amazing American accent that only slipped a couple of times back into his normal Britishness.
oh yeah. Oh god, people. Oh, I was supposed to say, am I getting a swath of, because my computer was dinging, am I getting a swath of likes and stuff on those photos? Anyway, moving on. I'm closing Facebook. Facebook is closed. Shop is closed.
That is so amazing.
Right?
But no, yeah, the production quality's it's spot on.
Yeah.
I was just mostly wowed by how well constructed the script was.
Yes.
And the pacing and like everything just fit into place. And they pulled genuine surprises on me. And despite the fact that they were really tropey, dumb surprises, they earned them and they worked.
They still
And
got you.
That's
still
the
got
thing.
me,
They may have
and
been
it's
troping,
so-
but they were
and
troping
it didn't
done
feel like,
right.
yeah, it didn't feel like a cheap gotcha. It was like
Oh,
I should have seen it.
we're doing that.
Oh
But
shit!
it was a genuine, a genuine caught me off guard. I was like, oh,
When he's on the stakeout on the stakeout, the guys in the truck don't see him when he's like fighting with the suit.
Yeah, right.
Ah, yes, the training
Yeah, and that's
protocol.
It's
Good
like
old
the
Karen.
mix. The mix of humor and serious did not fall flat, and that's really hard for some movies to get right.
But it's also very important for Spider-Man. It's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're, most of your primary cast are teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, at least almost
Well,
teenagers.
like,
Formerly
okay, Zendaya
teenagers.
is
Recently formerly teenagers.
Which, by the way, Zendaya, she can act. I didn't realize
I
that.
adore her. I
She's an actor.
freaking adore her. Although I have to say, it's kind of hysterical because I realized who it was once I finally got a good look at her face, and CJ goes, "Kia, is that the chick from Shake It Up?"
No, I knew Zendaya from her music. That's where I knew her from. I don't know Shake It Up.
It's a Disney Channel kid show. She was born in 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed her character, though I will say the whole time in the back of my mind, I was like, they're not saying her name. Why aren't they saying her name? Who is she? Is that Gwen Stacy? Who is that?
Nope, her name is Michelle.
Why are they not saying? Her name is Michelle. You can call me MJ. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this.
There you go. But you don't have any friends. Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
No, the best one still was at the last little bit of it. What are you hiding, Peter?
Where are you going, Peter?
And he's just like,
What are you hiding?
I'm kidding. I don't care.
I don't care. Bye.
Oh, my favorite one was in the detention.
Did you see her give him a look as she walks away? Because I think she knows. I think she knows.
I think she knows. Or she figured it out. My favorite one.
Yes, detention. The line of, you don't have detention. Why are you here?
I just like to read people in sad moments.
Picture of the guy actually running detention.
Yeah. At their lowest point. Oh, the best running gag throughout the entire movie was the Captain America videos.
The PSAs, yeah.
Yes.
I think he's technically a criminal now, but we still got to share these anyways.
This guy is a
Yep.
war criminal
We
now.
realized, he's a bad guy now, but the district's been a lot. Do you know how many times in a school year I hear that statement? We know this isn't relevant, but the district spent a lot of money on this, so we have to show this to you.
You're gonna watch this.
Great teaching at its best, right there, folks. Right, just
touched a nerve there.
Physical fitness.
Touched a nerve.
Touched a nerve.
How many more of these?
touched every nerve because CJ looks at me, and of course I'm like sitting there, and I literally had my drink, and I went, and the poor guy 2 seats in front of me almost got a Sprite bath because it just. I stopped myself. Thank God I had tissues or napkins in my hand, but he almost wore an entire cup of Sprite. It would have been, yeah.
Would have been sticky.
It would have been an interesting situation.
This is not how you spit Sprite over everyone. First.
And if we're gonna talk about the Captain America videos, let's just go ahead and get the final after credit scene.
Yeah, let's get the after credits. Some shout out here.
How many more of these?
All I'm saying is I would have preferred Howard the Duck over that last scene. I'm like, really?
I
love that last scene.
I love that.
I feel a little bit dirty for staying and watching it.
It was so tongue in cheek. It was beautiful.
And
it
Rachel,
was so everything Marvel coming back and saying, "Hey, we know all you idiots are going to sit and wait for this. Let's make it good."
And they did. That was the thing.
That was correct.
No, it hit perfectly for me because I was sitting in the theater watching it with Katie, and 2/3 of the way through the credits, she's like, "Ugh, like, what?"
Those credits were insane.
Why do they have to? Yeah, it's like, why do we have to? Why did Marvel started this? I don't like sitting through the credits every time.
Yeah, no,
Just
right?
be patient. It's fine.
But I was the only one in the movie theater, and the usher came in and went, "Oh, you're still here," and I said, "Yeah, well, why?" Because they only saw they sold one ticket. I was the only person in the movie theater because
Oh, it's great being like when I went to go watch. I saw Beauty and the Beast at the Alamo Draft House, and I was like one of 2 people there.
Yeah,
having an entire theater almost to yourself is amazing.
So you're still here? And I went, yeah. There's a bit at the end. Don't you know? It's a kind of telling the person who moves to the movie theater, and he's like, "No, I always try and come in afterwards, but I know we're low on tickets in this session." I went, sit down beside me. We can enjoy this together, and we were belly laughing, so it was great.
That's That's great, though. You
No,
made a
see, it's
friend.
great when you take kids and you have people that are up and leaving, and Kiara goes, "Dad, don't they realize they're gonna miss the best part?" Stop them. 900-year-old
Where's the
guy up in the
punchline?
front.
I
Why
made a
are
friend
you leaving?
So,
I've already
What?
seen it. Leave me alone. I don't know.
oh.
I think the new standard should just be like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where we just have 5. Break up the credits.
Is there a
There's
five
a
of
reason to
them?
stay. Yeah, there's 5 after credits in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, but they're so
It makes it
great.
honestly. They're all
haven't
great
seen
too.
I haven't seen it.
Don't talk back to me now. I am
Don't.
Groot.
Anyway,
That's a long, dark road to go down.
moving right along. Also, I enjoyed the vomit cam in this movie. I enjoyed that very much. Like when
Very,
I
very
think,
much. Was it hugely a success for you?
no, I
Mucho,
barfed
mucho.
from that. It was great. I think it was right.
Oh, so
before-
it was a bigly mistake.
It was a bigly. It was bigly. So bigly right now. So bigly of a mistake. But no, the camera work in here was alright, but some of it just didn't hit. But I mean, for the most part, it was a well put together movie production wise.
Like one thing I heard about the movie before I went in, I had no choice on hearing this, but that it had too much Iron Man in it, and it kind of no. The suit, I think that's what they meant.
Ah,
Yeah, because they sent an empty suit. But bump.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that I like that they switched over to the old costume, his handmade costume, but I kind of wish we got a little bit more in that costume.
Yeah,
because the main, I mean, not the thing with Spider-Man is that he's super smart and he's able to figure stuff out without having all the gadgets. Yeah, I mean, it made it a hell of a lot easier when he had all the gadgets.
Yeah.
But see, that was why he did it. He saw that Iron Man at one point, if you guys remember, did become so focused on nothing but the gadgets.
And that's what
not
Spider-Man,
what he
Iron Man
could do.
3.
But not what. No, I'm talking about Iron Man. What Iron Man was capable of
I'm
doing.
saying,
And then
is that
he
what
blew up all of his technology because he's like, you know what? I'm not being true to myself. That's when he said, F it, blew up everything. Remember?
Yeah.
So he saw Peter Parker going down the same path, going, ooh, what does this button do? Ooh, what does this button do? Ooh, I don't need this. I can do this. And everything else is automated. Gambit system. He's like, you know what? I'm taking it all away because if you can't be yourself, you don't need this.
But it was good to have the two. Sorry, it was good to have the two juxtapositions, though. The very basic bootleg Spider-Man costume that you can pick up at $29.99 at any good costume store today. Not a paid
And then you
sponsor.
have the $129.99 one.
Then you have the $129 bonus combo fluffy ice cream time costume.
So which one's going to be big this Halloween? Is it going to be the handmade one or the
hoodie
It'll
one?
be the big one.
It'll be the hoodie one.
It'll be the hoodie one. It'll be the $29.99 because people don't have that much money.
Well, also it's the new costume. That is what people want to have. It's the newer costume. So
Oh, the one from the very, very end, you mean?
no, the one through the entire movie, his hoodie costume.
Yeah,
After him and Batman worked together to blow up the boat, the one that Iron Man made him wear.
The costume of shame.
I love the callback to the original Avengers too, with the if you need it, then you don't deserve it. Because Captain America said that to him
before he went off the deep end.
Also, there needs to be, I don't know if someone can put this together like on YouTube or as a web series. We need a Peter Parker vlog channel like right now. Just that needs to happen. What are you doing? Why are you doing that voice? Because I like it. Okay, whatever.
It'd be great if like Peter Parker tweeting and Spider-Man replies. Oh,
and then he's accidentally tweeting from the wrong account and has to delete it before anybody sees it.
I like how they made like his high school bully or rival Flash. How they did make him a jock. They did make him a jock. They made someone who can actually challenge him, who's not as smart as him. Yeah, he's a fellow nerd.
He's a nerd. The trivia team.
The trivia team. The very smart trivia team.
And that car that he was driving at the end had to have been
Flash drive.
Oh,
Flash drive, yeah.
Flash drive.
But he was.
Did you not get the joke with the license plate?
Happy when he gets home and sees his car.
Oh
yeah.
I
It's
do
all right, I'm
not
sure-
want to be on the receiving end of Flash after that one.
Tony Stark will take care of it. It's fine.
Yeah, but he was such a douche throughout the whole movie, and it was amazing. It's
I'm
like
gonna take your car, Flash. I'm sorry. How do I turn
Everybody,
that
when I
off?
say penis, you say Parker. Penis!
Parker!
I don't think you should come back to the party right now, Peter. It's not a good time.
Hey guys, can I be back on the team? What? Sure, Flash, you're back to alternate.
You're back to
What? No, you can't just show up and be back on the team. Oh, hey, Peter, you're back on the team. Sweet.
And then he takes the jacket too.
He takes a jacket, and then Penis Johnson.
Oh.
Anyway,
The interview when they're interviewing the teacher after the accident is like, I can't lose a student
can we talk about that high school team
again. I thought that I was next to my friend, and it's just like, oh, they're interviewing him. It's like, hey, again. I caught that.
Guys all zoomy on him for some reason.
Well, all the high school station thing was great.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for the homecoming dance? Yes, I do. Okay.
Projection live on the air.
And in answer to your question, is that a thing, Dale? My school got it the year after I graduated.
Oh.
And I was on the school tech team.
Oh.
Got what?
Our school didn't have it, but that doesn't say much. I know some of the schools in the area did. So,
what's that? What didn't you get?
Oh, the school TV, basically.
School TV channel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mine did, but we won't discuss my school.
Right.
Ew.
No, we got mine in my junior year, so it would have been 1999 we started it, and it was hit and miss. We can say that I can say that there was a successful broadcast maybe once a week.
Video
because our equipment just
That's not bad.
When you consider that it was the first, like my senior year, we actually every day of the week we got it to work properly, but it took a lot of setup. And the tech team that we had during its launch in my junior year, we bit off more than we could chew. I'll say it that way.
Yeah, no, it's like the first broadcast of MTV. It was great when it worked.
But it was the first.
Much like this show. It's great.
I mean, okay, let's go to the first initiation of, let's go back to Tadpool Tech, the thing that we don't talk about.
Let's not.
It was bad.
Hey, we all started somewhere.
Bling. Yeah, I know, right?
And speaking of, now that we're kind of one off topic and two talking about plot stuff as well, let's go ahead and take a break. And on the other end of it, we'll actually just go ahead and full blown just discuss everything and go
Spoil the shit out of it.
Spoil everything that isn't already spoiled.
We spoiled a lot already. Sorry.
During the break here, we are going to play a tribute to somebody who unfortunately and sadly passed from this mortal coil today. Chester Benningfield from Linkin Park passed away today. So I have a cover here from the band Serene of In the End. And after that, we will be right back with more Spider-Man shenanigans. Stay tuned.
It starts with one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as a pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes like away. It's so unreal. Sit and look down below. Watch the time go right out the window. Try to hold on, you didn't even know. See it all, just watch it go. Everything is hot, even though we're trying. We all fell apart. What it meant to me, what it meant to be a memory every time. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I got too far to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, I acted like I was part of your prophecy. Remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so close. The way you were yours, you wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you moving back and put it all those nights to me. Yes, everything inside, even though we're trying, we all fell apart. What it meant to me, well, eventually be a memory every time. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I got too far to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Push as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I put my trust in you. Push as far as I can go. There's only one thing you should know. I tried so hard and got so far. It doesn't even matter. I got too far to lose it all. It doesn't even matter.
Hey guys, we're Serene. Thanks so much for checking out the video. You can see our own original
Yeah.
single here. It's called Tempest.
So, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Uh-huh.
Well, hi there, empty chair.
Oh, hi, empty chair.
Yes.
I didn't see you there.
So that was Serene, Linkin Park cover of In the End. Why am I presenting? Oh, because Dale put me as presenting to everybody.
I did. That should have fixed it.
So yeah, again, unfortunately, Chester Benningfield took his own life today, and it's very sad. Regardless of how you feel about the band or felt about the band, by the way, I've pretty much always been a fan of Linkin Park. It's sad when anybody does that, and if you or anybody you love think that you are having those kind of thoughts, please seek help. Don't let those eat you alive. Coming from somebody who has had a lot of issues with depression and thoughts and tendencies, seek help. There's plenty of free opportunities out there, anonymous opportunities. not something you have to live with alone. And just no, and this kind of shows once again, doesn't matter how rich or famous you are, sometimes the demons are just going to get you. And
yeah, it happens to everyone. So if you're feeling blue, pick up the phone and talk to someone.
Here in the United States, there is in most metropolitan areas a service called 211 that you can call. It's completely free, completely anonymous, and either you can just speak with a therapist or they can get you in touch with somebody that can actually help you.
And actually, when it comes to 211 CJ, they are trained on the 211 level specifically. If you just want to call and talk, they are required to listen. You know, obviously they can't give you any medical assistance, but hey, you know, I'm here to listen. What do you need?
Absolutely. And normally, like, we don't normally get this real on the show, but it's like, yeah, this was a pretty major thing. So I'm not even going to do my normal, hey, let's break out of this weirdness and break out of this melancholy into something weird. No, this is serious. So
sidebar for Australian listeners, because I know we have a few, Lifeline, 13 11 14 lifeline.org.au.
There you go. So then let's go ahead and move into the second half of the show where we discuss plot and everything like that of Spider-Man Homecoming.
So refresh my memory. How did Spider-Man get his powers again?
Nobody knows. Also, well freaking done. Hey, a spider bit me. Can it bite me too? It's dead. Oh.
Right.
Literally, the only thing that you know is that a spider bit him. We don't know what kind, where, how.
Thank you. Thank you.
We don't have to watch Uncle Ben die again.
Exactly. I am glad that there was one reference of Ben
Especially
at
after
all.
Yeah, after all Aunt May's been through. I can't do this
Yeah.
now.
It's
That's
just
it.
one reference and done. We're out. No more.
We all
Thank
know.
you.
We all know. It's fine.
We've done this story a few times. We know how this song and dance goes. Would you like me to hum a few bars?
Exactly.
You're bitten by a spider. Hey.
There is legitimately a Spider-Man musical where he does get his powers on stage. So, I mean, yes.
I know. Yeah, well, see, that's, yeah.
That does exist. It was written by Bono and the Edge. And a dude died one time on stage doing it.
Was that on Broadway or was that off Broadway?
It's on Broadway. It was on Broadway.
Opening night on Broadway.
No, they didn't die opening night. It was several months into the production that somebody died. Because they were already at that point lazy and like, oh yeah, certainly nothing will go wrong. This has been done 150 times. Oh God.
Yeah, well, that makes it's even better.
Right?
Doing a matinee, that would be very exciting for those people to see Spider-Man.
The opening where he's doing the live blogging.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many
awesome Civil War recap. Fantastic.
Yes. Again, we don't need to see this.
I always want the previous movies recapped like that now. From now on. I want that to be the new thing.
Have them recapped like that though. I was thinking about that during the movie. It's like, do we have to have them recapped?
I just saw Captain America's shield, and then I fought that guy. And he threw me in. Oh, whoa, that guy's big now. I gotta go.
Yes, Dale, we had to. This was great. Like, this was a good way of doing it.
I get why it happened is because
it's wonderful.
Yeah,
didn't they have a continuity error right there? Because wasn't Spider-Man like right in front of him when he goes big?
I mean, he was like,
yeah, he was down to the quarter of him. But
no, gotta go. He's big. Ah, Rick, run! Oh, that's my line. I just got my line. Gotta go. Oh.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure somebody will do a YouTube breakdown of the side by side, and we'll see what's up, how it all went down.
But like, there's a lot of YouTubers right now that's what they do. They live blog on their live blog website.
Yeah,
on their live blog
Hey,
channel.
guys.
Yeah.
Correction. It was near death. He broke multiple vertebrae, and it did lead to an actor's death.
But the question is, was it during the matinee session?
No, they actually canceled the matinee for the next day.
Ah, gotcha. The matinee quit the next day.
Isn't there like a tradition if an actor dies in?
Yeah, you cancel the next day's show, which by the way, you never cancel Broadway shows. But yeah, if somebody dies, like you take some shows off.
This is from June 23rd, 2011, Wednesday night performance. Oh, that was How to Succeed. Wrong one. I clicked on the wrong one.
See, which I want to see that. Can we see that? That's too late. 2011. Can we go back in time to watch the?
Because they said close it before someone dies. The stuntman's brother reveals he may never return to the stage.
Close it down.
Safety harness malfunctioned when he jumps in a rehearsed stunt, plunged 30 feet into the orchestra pit. Yeah, the orchestra. I'd scream in horror. Serious conditions, suffering multiple broken ribs and substantial bleeding. So he had some serious issues, and that was back on December 23rd, 2010. That was when this was updated.
I remembered that. I just pulled that out of my butt, like just remembering it. It was fucking 7 years ago.
Yeah, it was right before Christmas.
Jesus Christ.
This Spider-Man.
So yeah. So sorry about the reason why I was quiet last on the second half. I was contacting Serene, the band, and they're like, yeah, just pull our stuff from YouTube to play it. By the way, thank you, bands, for having somebody constantly monitoring your email boxes so I can just reach out there and say, hey, this is what's going on. Yes, absolutely. Play it. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
There you go. But back to Raoul's point about people live blogging. I mean, live blogging in a movie theater is a bit weird. Not gonna lie.
Well, no, but because there's a lot of people, they got the younger generation in that opening scene. Because the younger generation are on YouTube and all that. They're like, oh yeah, and then there was this, like you were saying.
Yeah, no, the Peter Parker live blog. Spider-Man. What was it? Spider-Man, a Peter Parker film or whatever it was?
Yes, and it's almost as like they have a young person playing a young person, so they're able to have that actual, genuine thing.
And that seemed a little awkward, like Channing Tatum being in high school.
Right?
Yeah, Tom Holland's great, right? He's a high schooler.
How old is Tom Holland?
He's like 21 or something like that.
19.
He's 19.
So just
good to play Spider-Man for a while.
Yeah, he's
doing the lot.
And he pulls off awkward teenager very well.
Oh my god, the awkward points in the high schools, or in when he's Peter Parker, the high school drama and all that. I'm like, oh, so I mean. I stayed away from all that back in high school. It's like, okay, so yeah, he's gonna ask her, is it gonna happen?
I know, and she actually liked him back.
He's actually 21 years old, guys, not 19.
21, sorry.
Jazz was right.
Jazz was right.
Oh. Nice. This is what Jazz does. He corrects all of our mess-ups, and that's the reason why whenever he's not on the show, the entire show goes to shit.
I know.
Right? Goes awesome.
Because, heaven forbid any of us be on this machine that may or may not have something that can tell us ages if we just,
the internet, I know.
Well, my internet machine just does this all the time.
Ah!
Oh, God.
So, hey, Jazz, I wasn't the only one psyched to see Nacho in this movie, am I?
I was so excited to see Nacho in this movie.
And he's the fucking Scorpion! He is the Scorpion, and I can't wait for Spider-Man 2 when he gets to play the part of the Scorpion! Oh my god!
That made me excited, too, because he was in this, and then he was like on screen for like 2 minutes, and then he was gone. I was like, oh, that's all you're going to use Nacho for?
Was that at the end?
I saw the after scene. I was like, wait.
Yes!
Wait, where was he in the first part?
He was on the ferry. He was like one of the little henchmen guys.
Oh, okay.
One of the buyers.
Yeah, and then he's in the mid-credit scene with the Vulture.
Yeah, whatchamacallit?
Why do we think Vulture didn't sell Peter Parker out? Was it because he wanted to keep it for himself, keep that piece of information for himself,
Oh,
or did he? Or
no,
does he like him
he
now?
wants. He wants.
I mean, there
But
might be a
remember,
conflict
his
of
daughter
interest
would
there.
find out then.
The daughter would find out. That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's what
Would he care?
The
Is he
Vulture,
being
His
nice,
little girl.
or does he
yes,
have
he would.
ulterior motives?
the Vulture never devolves Spider-Man's identity unless he can do it himself. That is the MO of every time that Toomes has figured out that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, or when he figured out Spider-Man was Ben Reilly in the 90s, but then again, that didn't happen. He never reveals it unless he can do it, because it is a matter of pride. I figured it out. I want to be the one who does something about it.
That was a feeling.
Well, there's that, and there's also the fact that he may be feeling just a little bit of remorse there, because Spider-Man
saved
could
his
have
life.
left him to die.
Yeah.
And he
Spider-Man did
not.
save his life.
Yeah, based on the look on his face when
But he's still not happy about it.
brought up, I don't think he's really remorseful. I think he's like, don't care who you are, I'm gonna F you up when I get out of here.
So yeah,
I
speaking
am-
of Nacho and getting on the internet to research who he was so that I could make sure he was in the next movie, because that makes me excited that he's Scorpion. I also saw the other little nod that they did. Did you appreciate that, CJ, the nod to Miles Morales?
Yes. Yes. It makes me happy that he can actually exist in the universe, and maybe we will get Miles freaking Morales on screen.
Wait.
Like,
I missed this. Where was there a Miles Morales reference?
I didn't know about it until afterwards, but because I'm not that big of a nerd, but the internet told me.
Yeah.
The internet informed me that.
Okay, so which scene?
Donald Glover, the criminal that he interrogates, which is
Yes.
a wonderful scene also.
Oh, the one scene of the interrogation mode.
Interrogation mode, yes.
Yeah,
voice,
his name, I can't remember his name. CJ can tell me his name, but like he mentions, like, yeah, I have a nephew in Queens, and we need people like you to watch out for him. I don't want
Aaron Davis
bad stuff
and
coming to that neighbor.
Yeah, Aaron Davis,
who is the uncle of Miles Morales.
Miles Morales.
And when he mentions his nephew, he's talking about Miles Morales.
He is the evil. He is the evil uncle of Miles Morales in the Spider-Man Ultimate Universe. He is the first person. He's kind of the Vulture-ish kind of character in the Ultimate Universe for Miles. Like, he knows Miles is Spider-Man and doesn't do anything about it.
Because it's his fucking nephew.
It doesn't matter. This dude is not a good person. Like, Aaron is not a good person whatsoever. Like, he will sell you out just to make a buck.
But he seems nice in this.
The suit.
version. We'll see.
And I got ice cream in the car.
Yeah.
Still a criminal. You deserve this.
Still criminal.
This
Hey
is
man.
what turned him into a full-blown villain. Is Spider-Man with his ice
Spider-Man.
cream belt.
Yeah, Spider-Man with a goddamn ice cream belt.
Okay, what's his villain? It's gotta be something with ice cream, right? 2 scoops, man.
Ice cream time.
2 scoops,
Big
man.
day.
Donald Glover is 2 scoops man. Mr. Sprinkles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Neapolitan.
Crazy cones.
But they're both spelled with a K, so it's crazy.
Okay. Yes.
K. Crazy cone.
Oh.
Neapolitan.
Killer cones. There we go.
Killer codes. Yes, it's better than crazy codes.
Got any puns for us, Josh?
Nah, my brain's a little frozen.
Oh, just let it be.
There it is.
Hi, I'm Captain America. How many freezer puns can you come up with whilst in gym class? Boopity boop boo. And for audio listeners, I'm holding up my Captain America doll. That's a great bit for audio listeners.
Right?
Bit to do. But yeah, Captain America is also
Bit-a-doo-doo.
the best thing in the world. Sidebar.
So isn't there like some crazy stuff that brings Miles Morales as Spider-Man?
Yeah, Peter Parker dies.
Spoilers.
I'm sorry. The name of the trade paperback is The Death of Peter Parker. I'm sorry. It's kind of like the death of Gwen Stacy. You go in knowing what you're getting.
Like
Spoiler on the cover.
Like
No
with the
one-
death of what's that?
No one dies forever in comic books.
Ultimate Peter Parker does.
And they come
That's
back in
just
a
the
different
Ultimate
form.
Universe.
Well, okay.
Now that Miles Morales is in the 616, the Ultimate Universe is 100% canon. So Peter Parker died forever in a universe. Also, 2 universes technically, because the Spider-Gwen universe.
What about Superior Spider-Man?
Good series. I liked it. I hope we don't get that on movie though, because unless we get what's his name to come back as Dr. Octopus, Alfred Molina, like
Ooh. He was a damn good Doc Ock.
I know, like I want to see him now older and grizzled. Like I want to see the Sinister Six just be like relatively older, like 40-plus-year-old men, really pissed off that they kept getting beaten by this high schooler. Like
right.
I'd be down with that.
Also, go ahead.
Ladies first.
No, you go ahead. I'm just going to talk about something else. So you say what you were going to say first.
I'm just really glad that they're going for the Sinister Six next.
Yes.
And not Green Goblin?
It's not Green Goblin. They're not fucking jumping the shark to Venom.
Well, Venom is a thing.
Venom is a thing.
Venom is a thing, but
they're making a movie out of it. He's getting his own.
I'm not necessarily upset about that, but it's the fact that we've done Green Goblin, we've done Venom.
Badly.
It's like,
very bad.
yeah, but
super
maybe
bad.
that's-
Count, so
Yeah.
regardless,
really
it's nice to see them going with, the real rogues gallery of Spider-Man villains.
We are
Scorpion.
taking it more down to
Scorpion.
he's going to be able to be your favorite, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and that includes beating the crap out of old men in costumes.
Doesn't whatchamacallit, doesn't the Scorpion has ties to Jim Jameson?
Sometimes
Or
depends
was
on
that that just the cartoon? Because I think in the cartoon he helps create Scorpion to make a villain for Spider-Man, right? Or to kill Spider-Man.
That was in the cartoon, yeah.
Yeah.
They tried that once before a reboot of Spider-Man, and it didn't work too well in comic book form. So now it's just a dude in a costume.
Like most of Spider-Man's villains.
Yeah, and I like how all of this is based on the Avengers screwing up and not like cleaning up and everything like that. Like all of the Spider-Man issue is directly the fault of the Avengers, and I freaking love it.
Yeah,
specifically Tony Stark once again. Just put
yeah, but Tony Stark is the real villain of the Marvel universe. Like he is the worst person in the Marvel universe.
He's not a villain.
He's absolutely the villain.
No, he is a manipulator. He does these things to better his standing.
Tony Stark is the manifestation of entropy in the Marvel universe.
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
He spent so long thinking about whether or not he could, is not whether or not he should.
However, Neil Gaiman created a villain based on entropy, so
there is that.
But he's not doing it to be, malicious. He's doing it to get his shit done, what he wants to do. It's called self-preservation.
Oh, I had something caught in my throat there for a second. I had a piece of shit caught in my throat. Oh man!
Wait, Rachel, doing it for self-preservation wasn't that the Vulture's motives too?
Right, exactly. That is most of the villain. That is freaking what's his face's from Civil War. That was his entire thing. Was like, I'm just doing this to keep myself, from going into this deeper depression based on the fact that my entire family was killed by this person.
By this one person. Yeah.
I'm going to quote a show, CJ.
Iron
Let me
Man.
see if you can
Okay.
catch this. A man's a crusader or a ruthless invader. A rich man's a thief or philanthropist. It's all in which label is able to persist.
Yes, that's wicked. By the way.
I was saying like, no, I know this.
Yes, that's.
One of my favorite Broadway musicals. You're welcome.
As it should be.
Broadway or
I heard that, Jazz.
So yeah, I mean, he is. I mean, like, if you're going to use the fact of self-preservation as him not being a villain, like that marks off quite a few villains.
It's more. I think that Tony Stark really does have the good of the world at heart. It's just that he doesn't always make good decisions.
Like Ultron's whole motive was, "Daddy, notice me, please. I just want to live." Like,
Senpai, notice me. Senpai, notice me. Daddy, please, Senpai.
Ego also, that's his entire motive. Like, he just wants to live.
Well, ego was more of I want to live
And
in
kill a whole
place of everything else because I'm perfect and nothing else is.
And that's what Iron Man was doing in freaking Avengers 2. Like,
But then we took all of his fun shinies away, and he realized he needed to be a little less of a douche.
speaking of, by the way, I love the Iron Man 1 mask in the truck. Like in Avengers Tower, where Vulture pulls up the first Iron Man mask and just tosses it aside like a piece of junk. That was brilliant.
Also, the knockoff Avengers from the bank too. Those masks.
Yes.
Right.
Wait, you guys
Let's
have to
take it
go
all out of the vault, quite literally.
Hulk, it's nice meeting you.
Hulk, nice to meet you finally.
No, I love that they did that. Like, they pulled old school. Well, it makes sense. Literally, that's one of the last boxes that is put onto the plane, which means it was really far back in storage.
Exactly.
So, hey, at least they're showing you that they are, making it so it makes sense. They're not just like, okay, let's put all the new shit right there, right up front.
And he
However,
has a big old crate full of arc reactors. Just a whole,
yeah, I mean, well, after
big
he
old
had
pile of them.
Well, I mean, there for the longest time, that's how he lived. And arc reactors, while having a lot of energy, tend to burn out, as shown in Iron Man 2. So, I mean,
that was funny.
I can imagine he does have a box or several of arc reactors. Like, hey, this was my heart for several years.
Well, no, it would get burnt out because he powered the suit with it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But he
Because
also
if
powers his, heart with it. So,
well, no. If he
was
just
dying
had,
for a while there.
yeah, but if he just had that, if it wasn't powering the Iron Man suit, it would have gone on forever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, his forever, anyways.
Yeah, I mean the arc reactor, the technology behind it is pretty much perpetual energy, like just encapsulated, because they even go as far as in the comics as far as explaining it of, hey, yes, I've created unlimited energy. However, if it's outside of this big of a thing, it's never going to be able to be used. And it's not really unlimited if you start tapping into it. So I can like light this building for about 3 minutes. But in this form, it's permanent energy.
Legit.
So, yeah. Sorry, I didn't talk about much in the last half. But going back to Mary Jane, or whatever they're going to call her, MJ. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this take on it. It's fantastic.
Love
it. Like I said, I knew they were doing something with her. It's like, why have they not mentioned her name? She's somebody. Who is she?
Yeah. What did they kept calling her?
I kept waiting for her to be Gwen Stacy, but then it's like, oh, no, you
Yeah,
can call me
I'm
MJ.
honestly
I was like,
surprised they didn't go with
oh.
either. Like,
I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Carry on.
What did they kept calling her? Just you?
her name, which is like
Oh,
Melinda.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle.
I'm guessing
I
it's
don't think they
Michelle
really
Jane,
made her.
whatever
She
her last name. Like,
yeah.
Michelle Jones. Whatever.
Well, I'm sure it'll be Michelle Jane or like Michelle Mary Jane Watson. There we go, Watson. That's the last name I was looking for.
That is the last name.
So I'm guessing like Jane. Either the middle name will just be Jane, or like her middle name will be Mary Jane, or something like that.
Yeah. Also, the ethnic diversity in this movie is freaking awesome.
No, man, they really.
Paint bucket, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Indian Flash, mulatto MJ, like, I love it. Freaking love it.
Isn't Queens generally very diverse?
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Anywhere in New York. Yeah.
Mulatto Tomb's daughter, like, yes. Freaking amazing.
Yeah, like it actually looked like a school you would find in Queens.
Right?
Yep.
which is really kind of funny because I saw somebody's review in passing of Spider-Man: Homecoming while I was scrolling around the internet, and the headline was something to the turn of Spider-Man's superpower is white privilege. And it's like,
hate to say it.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, you apparently did not watch this movie.
Obviously, okay. I'd like to point out, being that it is set in New York does have a high number of low poverty schools, but it also has an equally diverse grouping of schools that are college and career specific. In this case, he's at a math and science school, people. No shit, there's going to be some diversity there and a little bit of white privilege because this is a school that requires a lot of this if you don't have a lot of the brain to go with it.
See Flash.
You can get into these schools a couple different ways. One, pay your way, which a lot of parents will do. That is your white privilege students frequently.
Indian
Two,
privilege.
well, yeah. In this case, honestly, Flash probably was paying his way because though he was smart, he was kind of a douche and he
absolutely his way in. Like there's no
Toombs was doing all this for his family. He was doing all right. I saw that house in New York.
Yeah.
Well, selling
those are outer city houses that you were seeing. Trust me, that is like suburbia. Those are your $1 million houses that you have to have the money to get into.
It's not a cheap house.
Yeah, that's Long Island, like further on Long Island.
Peter Parker lives in an apartment. Yeah. You cannot tell me that Aunt May makes enough money to buy his way into this school. In his case, he probably got in the second way, which is having a fucking brain.
Yeah. Like
being able to test well to get into their standardized school because they are focused on two major things in this case, math and science, which obviously he excels at. The third way to get into schools in New York is to get a scholarship because you are from a low prevalence area and you have what's called potential. You may not have the test scores, but you have something that they see that they can mold into something that they want coming from their school.
I guess that might be MJ.
No, MJ's family had some money.
Yeah.
But they do still have to make a certain quota. And this is with all schools. This just isn't in New York. So don't assume I'm being, a racially incompetent bee with this. But every school has to have a certain percentage of minority students. And that is everywhere. Ohio had it. CJ had students that were bussed in from the high wealth area into a low wealth area because they had too much minority in that minority school.
Somalians. I'm not saying that is a negative thing. No, seriously. During the Somalian refugee,
Columbus, Ohio has a high level of Somalians.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Just so those are your three ways to get into this school. And I can guarantee you that Parker's not buying his way into that school. So fuck you and your white privilege. Goddamn white people.
Yeah, fuck you.
Says the whitest girl on the podcast.
I don't know. Carrie's pretty pasty.
No.
Yeah, but
anyway.
Yeah.
But back
Carrie
to
and I are pretty fucking pasty, but that's okay.
It's either he's smart or he has potential because even in the scene where he's making the
he's smart. He makes his own freaking web solution.
Yeah,
he's sitting there in class answering questions while he's mixing his fucking web solution underneath the desk.
There's no if
That's
he's
pretty
smart.
fucking smart.
Yeah,
he's very smart. He's clearly the star person on the team.
And also,
all he has to do is show up, and you're up front, Pete.
And it kind of
absolutely
goes with saying he obviously reverse engineered the eye things in the mask. Like this is not. I mean, it was never directly said, but that's the brilliance of it. He had to be
finding the locator.
Yeah, he had to be smart enough to think, "Hey, these eyes on the suit that Mr. Stark gave me are really cool. How can I do that?"
Oh,
and then take the locator out of his suit that Stark gave him. Like, you had to know. And if you looked at that machine that he was opening up of that suit.
And also Ned. Like, that proved
Ned. That moment. It's like, Ned's the adorable, goofy sidekick. Oh, God.
Oh,
he's got computer cred.
He's got skills.
He hacked
things.
Like, here's my theory. Our Indian Flash boy is buying his way into this school. Yeah, he's got some brains, but not quite enough in my book. Parker's in there because he's tested into it, And Ned is in there probably because he is the minority that got the scholarship because there's some potential there. And he proved he's got that potential. Him and his rolling chair. I'm watching porn.
The man in the chair.
Which is actually more believable than what he was actually doing.
Well, I'm sorry. I would have said the same thing if my teacher came up and asked me what I was doing when there's a party with hot chicks outside. I'm watching porn. You know, my teacher would have been like, "Close it down. Get back where you belong." Yes, ma'am.
I like how Mom Orange is the New Black just rolled her eyes. I just walked back away. Like
I literally said out loud the first time she came on screen. It's like, I know her from somewhere. Where is she?
Dale, if it makes you feel better, I turned and went, CJ, it's Mendoza. It's Mama. It's Mendoza. And he's like, shut up.
Mama Mendoza. Hey, yet another reminder that I need to finish that season of Orange is the New Black. Thank you, Spider-Man.
yeah, us too. Like, there's a reason why I set that out like 3 weeks from now because, yeah.
What was the name of the suit AI? Was it Karen?
Karen.
Suit lady. I feel bad about calling you suit lady. Can I call you something different?
I'm going to call you Michelle.
How about Liz? No,
that's
creepy.
Yeah, Liz.
Does anybody here watch Markiplier's channel at all?
Nope.
He has a playthrough of Subnautica, and the AI that talks to you when you're in your ships and stuff, he named her Karen. So...
Now's your chance, Peter. You should kiss her.
Karen, no!
Karen!
No,
I'm pretty sure it was a nod to Spider-Man 1, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Upside down. Yeah, upside down. Like, you should kiss her. Yeah, that was poking fun at the awkward upside down kiss with.
I like when they were going through the playback for the day, and then gets an impression of Thor, and she's like, "But your impressions are so funny."
Oh yeah.
Awkward flirting with your own AI and your suit's a little weird, and obviously designed by.
Oh yeah. That is definitely a Tony
that
AI,
Tony
just from the sound of the voice.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That voice was butter.
It doesn't know when you don't look like you know what you're doing.
And that was another fun Easter egg they put in there. That was Jennifer Connelly as the voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's married to Paul Bettany, who's the voice of Jarvis, and well, it's Vision now.
Yes.
I see what they did there.
Would you like to go back to the training manual?
I would like to run that refresher course. I'm not going to get out of this building, but yeah, well, we'll run that.
And yeah, there's no way that
Initializing instant kill mode. Whoa, no.
No instant kill.
No.
There's no way that Tony did not
Why
expect
is there an
Peter
instant
to
kill
hack
mode?
the suit, considering he named it the Training Wheels Protocol. That was a intentional dig.
And
Yeah,
baby monitor.
Yep.
Yeah, baby monitor. Oh, of course it is.
No, okay. He's what, 15, 16 in the movie? 15? I'm sorry. If I knew that this kid was in my care and it was my ass on the line if something happened to him,
Heck yeah,
because
baby
obviously
monitor.
he'd be getting found in my equipment if something happened to him, you better believe I'm going to put a remote search on that child. I might do it to my daughter and son when they're old enough. I might do it now. Yep.
Hey, they got smartphones in their pockets. It's real easy.
Yeah.
Right? You assume my child's going to have a smartphone? Are you fucking crazy?
Well, if they're 15 or 16. Yeah.
If they even make flip phones by the time they're old enough to have
but-
their own phones.
But who knows what they'll have in 10 years?
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
Google Glass is making its way back, you guys. That's all I'm saying.
No.
So is it about time for us to Tito this?
I believe so.
Yes. I will say the whole Washington Monument scene, fantastic.
Yes.
Really
Well,
good.
Washington Monument scene was amazing.
Yeah.
Like ratcheted up the tension really, really well, and it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just really good.
And Flash
I
is
felt myself getting like really tense. Flash.
They really laid on the douchiness.
And I do love.
And I love
Michelle
best statement coming out of there. Stop dancing. So sorry, Mr. Spider-Man.
No, I like the even better. Michelle, why are you out here? Because I refuse to go into something built by slaves. The Washington Monument wasn't built by slaves. She looks over at the tour guide. The tour guide nods.
Tour guide's like kind of shrugs and nods.
And of course, the tour guide is a very good-looking black man on top of it all, which yeah, he'd know.
And the boring white woman. They're actually doing the tour. Like,
and on this floor, we will see nothing more than the walls.
This is perfectly
that
normal.
surround-
yeah, all of our safety precautions are in effect. All of their safety precautions are failing, Peter.
You need to hurry. And I love the fact that it takes him like, a long time to climb up the Washington Monument because it's gigantic.
Yeah, right. Also, kudos to calling out the fact of why he stays in the city. Like, that was the best scene of the entire
movie. When he goes to web shoot and there's nothing there.
At all. It was brilliant. I fucking loved it. And running across the field, this sucks.
Yeah, I could see you and Raul being Peter and Ned.
How far can your web shoot?
For you.
That made.
Have you ever just shot it straight in the air?
Yeah.
See how far it goes?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm surprised there wasn't a comment up there like, "Oh, that's how far it goes."
Yeah.
Or well, it clearly doesn't go that far.
Like
how far does your web shooter go from city to suburbia?
that was my favorite. That was my favorite scene in the movie. That first party scene. That party scene was just great. Like, it was so good. And I'm trying to do the Superman thing where he's like trying to do both at the same time, but he doesn't have the super speed that Superman does or anything like that. So it's superly awkward over on their neighbor's roof, like peering in naked. Like, God, I hope somebody doesn't look through these giant windows at me.
Right. Oh, when he gets home, it's just like, you're the Spider-Man. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
You were on the ceiling, dude.
No, I wasn't.
You saw nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was so good. All right, yeah, let's Tito this movie.
Please, let's Tito.
Raul's been quiet this show. What you giving it?
Okay, so they didn't.
Okay, not Ned.
Okay,
not Ned.
Like I said before, they walked that fine line between a serious movie, but they also made it fun and funny.
Yes. Very much so.
You had a smart criminal that put 2 to 2 together. Terrifying, but also caring at the same time. When Peter goes to pick up Liz, he's just like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Does all the father tropes, like gets the guy's name wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was false.
And kudos to Tom Holland in that scene too. Like, he plays sweaty nervous amazingly.
Yeah, and then he goes like, okay, so I gotta do the dad thing. I gotta do the father talk to the boyfriend, blah blah blah, and he ups it to 11 immediately. Does she know? He pulls the handgun out and just like immediately like, does she know? Know what?
Okay, good, she does.
Oh yeah, I'll say that.
So he's a villain that has a sense of honor. That's okay. You did one for me. I'll give you one. Michael Keaton is amazing in this movie.
Yes, he is.
Especially the trap that he sets for him when he brings the building down on top of him.
Yeah.
When he's like Peter thinking that like, what are you talking about? I've caught you. I'm just buying time.
You haven't hit me once. You're right. I haven't been trying to.
I've been trying to.
So someone that just has more experience than him. Probably not smarter than him, but just is more experienced than him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, must have been.
Let's see who else. Shocker.
Number one or number two?
Both. Well, the first one was kind of an idiot, but the second one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. And I like the fact that he basically had is it Crossbones?
Yeah.
Crossbones like glove that he fought with Captain America in Civil War. That's amazing. I love that they brought everything back from the lots of nods.
And
all this technology that's just been stolen.
Some construction people are engineers, so that's how they kind of explain, like, how do these people, construction people, understand?
They're union
anything?
They're constructual
Because
engineers.
without engineers, construction
a
people
thing.
can't do shit.
Ah.
So, yeah. So, in the end, it was a good, fun movie. I'm gonna give this a 9.5.
Boom.
Upper or lower?
Upper.
Upper? Oh, jeez.
Would you say that Spider-Man was the tits?
I would.
Oh, I just saw what you did, CJ.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Ned. Karen, what do you got with us?
Not
I
Karen.
thought this was a really solid movie. Everything in it was incredibly well executed. You had the script that was paced just right. The dialogue was timed perfectly. It mixed humor and serious. And yeah, like Jazz mentioned earlier, it actually managed to surprise a very trope-savvy audience, which is rare. We've seen a lot of we've seen a lot of superhero movies. We've seen a lot of comic books. We expect certain plot twists just because of the fact that we've seen it so many times, and this one actually managed to pull a gotcha. So yeah, I'm gonna go 9.5 upper.
Would you say this is the Tomb of Horrors of superhero movies?
Yeah. How about Jazz Thor's Magic Belt? What do you think of it?
Wait, what?
I like
Is that me? Is that me? Is that who you're talking to? Like I said, I loved it. The script was just perfectly tight. Acting was great. The characters are good. You got invested in them. You cared about them. I liked that they made this a nice Spider-Man world. Like everyone's nice to Spider-Man. That he's not the menace of the town, and the cops don't hate him. And
yes,
Mary Jane doesn't know that he doesn't exist. No, the girl he likes actually likes him back, and he's actually got a lot of good things going for him. He doesn't have, quite the angst of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, or maybe even other Spider-Mans. But yeah, no, I loved it a lot, and I too am giving it a 9.5 because
Upper or lower?
it deserves it. Ups, tops, jiggly bits.
Jiggly bits. Dr. Octopus, what do you think of it?
What?
Dr. Octopus.
I mean, it was just from start to finish, it was exactly the way a Spider-Man movie should be, to the point that even the title was tongue-in-cheek of Marvel being like, hey, look, we got Spider-Man back. And I mean, the like everyone else has said, the writing was on point, the scripting was on point, the dialogue was on point, the framing was on point of all the shots. It just kept nailing everything I wanted to see in that movie, and then still giving me more. And
Yes.
I really appreciate when that movie goes the extra entertainment mile. Like,
While remaining true
there's
to the
so
source.
much. Exactly, that's the thing. Is it was like with a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, very just right. It got what it needed to do, and it did it well, and it just makes me want to see more of it now. Like, I want more. I want to see the movie again. I want to see the sequels. and that's the way it needs to go. And they just got everything about Spider-Man right. He's not the most experienced superhero, in the field. He's not going to get everything perfectly right. He's going to doubt himself a little, but he still tries. During the bank heist, when he's like trying to figure out exactly how he should pose himself before he draws the attention of the would-be crooks.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got the witty Spider-Man banter, even though he's not perfect at it. He's trying. And that's that's everything you need in a Spider-Man movie, because that's like the banter is half of Spider-Man's goddamn superpower.
Exactly.
Like he's frustrating to fight because not only is he fast, strong, agile, he's got the spider sense giving him that little bit of an edge, but he's annoying the crap out of you and keeping you off your A game while he does it.
Exactly.
Which they didn't confirm spider sense, did they?
No, they did.
They didn't. It's the thing. They never touched the spider sense.
No.
It is a
And
little
that
OP,
was-
but yeah.
It's a strong ability, but and that was the thing, was they still made him shine as Spider-Man without that.
Yeah, they kind of touched on it being augmented with Karen, but as seen in the boat. But yeah, if we were going like old school Spider-Man spider sense, yeah, he would have, that entire thing would have just been him being like his head tingling every time he would go over there.
Yeah, and this was a Spider-Man movie, not a Harry Potter movie. So
exactly.
And we don't know if they're going to bring them up, because let's face it, he's slated right now for Infinity War and the untitled Spider-Man Homecoming sequel in 2019. So we've got literally 2 movies in the next 2 years that
more
might
Spider-Man.
come out in.
Yay!
By the way, a very chilling, and for those who don't want spoilers for Infinity War, come back in 30 seconds. They released a image of Doctor Strange talking to San Diego Comic-Con. Doctor Strange talking to Spider-Man, "Go protect them. They're not dead."
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Chills. But yeah, just
Go
everything
on.
about the bad guys in the movie was I love the moral ambiguity of them, with them not technically being bad people, just doing less than legal things because they were given the shaft.
Yeah. Like yeah,
these were just hard-working guys wanting to do their job and provide for their family, and they got dicked over by Tony Stark, but
again,
they still got dicked over. And I love that it was the fact that, this was the Vulture, because he was making a living by scavenging.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
I loved the nod to the Shocker with both the comedic name drop and the fact that both versions of him were wearing that insulated jacket that had the yellow diamond pattern sleeves.
Right?
It wasn't super in your face, but it was just there enough to be like, I see what they're doing.
That's the Shocker. That's the Shocker. Oh, wait. The Shocker just blew up.
Ooh, look at me. I'm the Shocker.
I'm the Shocker.
But yeah, I love the fact that they were, they were kind of almost Robin Hood-y, but more in a self-serving way.
Yes.
And it was really well done, and that drop with him being the dad was just like, I had dinner plate eyes at that point when he opened the door. It's like, oh, shit.
I think our entire theater audibly gasped.
Ours did.
You got me. You got me.
I didn't see it at all. Like,
no,
because they didn't make any lines for there to be connected there.
Yeah, like they never mentioned her last name or anything like that. But it was also like, and I hate to put it this way, you're so used to having such whitewashed superhero movies that a mulatto girl, you're not expecting the white part of her parentage to be Batman.
Yeah.
No one ever
again,
expects
just
Batman.
the costume design of the Vulture was fantastic. Just the way they handled everything. The only minor gripe I have about this movie was something so superfluous that it was completely blown out of the water by the rest of the movie, and that was the fact that the guy who was making all the tech,
the Tinkerer.
Yeah, and that's the thing that bothers me. Like, why did they bother giving him a supervillainy name in the credits that never shows up in the movie?
Yeah, I mean, the Tinkerer is a thing. Like,
I know he is, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, the Tinkerer, that's fine, that's great, but he never makes like, none of the other guys in the crew ask him, "How can you figure this stuff out?" He's like, "I like to tinker."
Yeah.
There was nothing tongue-in-cheek like that. It literally just shows up in the credits on a character that you're otherwise like, wow, he's really good with this stuff. How does he manage to figure out all this alien technology?
Yeah.
And that was really it. That was my only minor barest of qualms with this movie, was the fact that particular, was it Phil Mason or something like that?
Yeah.
That was the Tinkerer.
Yeah.
He just made slightly less sense. But otherwise, like we touched on, Flash as the nerdy antagonist bully.
Yep.
Right.
Ned as the guy in the chair, the best friend, was just so perfectly on point with everything. Some people, the hat wears them. You wear that hat, Ned.
Thank you.
The brief discussion about where the best sandwiches in Queens are.
Yeah. She's a hot Italian woman. She's a hot Italian woman. How's your daughter?
That's $10. No, it's $5. No, for that comment, $10.
Here's $5.
Everything was so good.
Yeah.
Save the cat.
So yeah, just 10.
10? All right.
10.
Phineas Mason is the Tinkerer. Michael Chernus is the actor.
Yeah. Captain Campbell, give us your PSA on this movie.
I was not prepared for this. Hi, I'm Captain America. How many times? And I think this funny. I don't know. How many times? How many stages are there to my gym routine? I don't know. I only get to one, but that's doing sit-ups, which apparently I'm doing now. But anyway, I'll put that there. Anyway, so I have a feeling that I'm going to be the wet blanket, and I do apologize. It happens. It happens. Look, again, like I mentioned, I swear I'm the only person on planet Earth that enjoys The Amazing Spider-Man 2, whatever that subtitle to that movie was. I don't even think it had.
Spider-Man 2.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2, this time it's bluer, I think. I don't know. I think that was the subtitle.
Ray Charles is blue.
Make Ray Charles blue again. Was the slogan to that movie. I saw it on the poster.
Yeah. I have it in the bedroom.
I have it. Ooh, whoa.
That's what she said.
That's what Rachel said. We'll draw a circle around CJ afterwards about that. But anyway, I agree it was a great movie. To me, it didn't have enough time. I could have done without the previously on Civil War business.
It was 5 minutes.
I still could have done without.
How could you deal without it? It was 5 minutes.
Here's the thing. Would you rather have sat through 5 minutes of Last Time on Civil War and given the movie, some time frame reference of this is how recently to the last movies this movie has been, or would you rather have watched Peter be bitten by a radioactive spider and have to watch his Uncle Ben die again?
I'm really sick of Uncle Ben dying.
It was interesting. It was
with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, showing you Peter Parker's personality, showing how Happy's gonna fit into the story. There's more to it than just the silly blogging thing.
And
the
plus, it wasn't even like previously on Civil War. Exactly, it was setting a place because that was a lot of issues. It's like, okay, one, how does Iron Man fit into Spider-Man and vice versa? It was giving that reference the open-ended question that we had for Civil War.
Yeah.
Where did Spider-Man come from?
You're right. also, you're talking to a person who, at the least of us, didn't enjoy Civil War the most either. I still think Civil War was a good movie. I just think it was a bit too crowded for a Captain America movie. Whilst I understand that Iron Man had to be... Oh, I have Iron Man back there too. It took me this long to realize I had Iron Man back there this entire time. I don't know what to put it down to. I feel like it took a while for this movie to get going, to me. I'm just saying my opinion. Dude.
He's entitled to his opinion, even if it's wrong.
Just like you're wrong.
I fully admit that I don't have a popular opinion on this movie.
Or a correct one. Or a correct one in that matter.
Oh, correct one. Well, when it comes to it depends on who you ask on that one. But anyway, I did like this movie. It was a good movie. There was a few minor technical things in there, like I mentioned. The vomit cam was not great at all. Like, that was. I know CJ's going to yell at me and say that was 30 seconds, but it's still.
No, it was more than 30 seconds.
It was more than 30 seconds, and
when I hate shaky cam. I hate it with a burning passion.
Dale, also, remember who the person who got a lot of shit for hating Daredevil season 1. Like, I am used to unpopular opinions. Your opinion is just wrong.
Okay.
Right. Let the man finish. Let the man finish.
CJ. Okay, teacher time. Class. Let's go ahead. We have a speaker on deck.
Hang on, Rachel. Now you can go.
Go ahead, class. It's time for our speaker to have all your attention in your ears. Please, everyone, turn your attention to Captain Dale.
Captain America. And it's ironic that you'd put PSA in my Tito title too. But anyway, again, well put together movie. Tom Holland, probably the best incarnation of Spider-Man we've had in the universe for sure, like hands down. And finally, we got a young person playing a young person. You know, that is what that is. I don't know. I just couldn't get into this movie as much as I did Captain America: Civil War. As much as I did, I know it's a different movie in a different universe entirely, but as much as Wonder Woman, the last rant review, which I absolutely loved, this movie, I just couldn't get behind it. And for that, I'm going to give it a 7.
Jesus! So he's probably a war criminal now, but that was his message.
Well, you know, he's Australian, so maybe it doesn't translate properly.
Maybe there is something I'm missing, Jazz. You're not wrong, and I
British is close enough.
Not really. That's good. But
it's an American thing. You wouldn't understand. It's an American thing.
But you're not wrong. Like, there might be something that I'm missing here, but I just, for some reason, just couldn't.
Joy.
You know, the line. There were great lines, but there was no real. Sorry.
I'm glad Dale was playing the me of this episode. And I get to play the everybody else. Dale, you're wrong.
Oh, hey, people say that on this show even.
Yeah, you don't have to be the voice of the internet in this episode. I can be.
The role of CJ Boat will now be played by Dale Campbell. The role of Dale Campbell will now be played by CJ Boat.
Aunt Rachel, what are you giving it?
Well, I want to build off of what Carrie had said with the whole tropes thing. What was it? A couple weeks ago, we went and saw Transformers.
Robots in disguise.
Tropey. Called out the tropes. Was not hiding the tropes. Did not want to surprise you with tropes. It was just trope after trope after trope after trope.
In a
but
stripper
that's
dress.
what we go to these things for.
Exactly.
Yeah. Carrie said they built it to it. They know that this is going to a demographic that is so used to these tropes that we're like, okay, this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and we're still going to love it because it's Marvel. And then they pull it out, and we're like, you're like, oh my god, you actually mentally mind fucked me, and I liked it with a trope.
Hubba hubba.
Michael
It's
Keaton.
one of those you're like, I might not be able to stand up for a few minutes because that was almost an erotic trope presentation. Like
you beat me to it.
pulled, Marvel pulled the pornography of tropes on us, and none of us saw it coming, which is the great thing. I know, well, at least I know me and CJ didn't, because CJ almost fell off his chair. He's like, what the fuck?
I like to try. Sorry.
I know it's
and it seems to be the general consensus with most of us that it was not expected. Which is a wonderful change.
Yeah. Sorry.
Especially after, let's break the fourth wall throughout Transformers and just call it out every time we're going to screw with you, because that's what we do now.
And it's the Transformers movie.
Exactly. We mentioned the Tinkerer.
Yes.
He's another callback from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, I said that. It's
Cal.
Yeah, Pinello's not Pinello. Piper's brother.
That did not hit me when we were watching it.
Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah. So, seeing all of the tropes, and yes, there was quite a few. It's, oh no, my beloved peasant village. No, it was, oh no, my beloved team. Oh no, our state capitals. Oh no, the boat. 98% accuracy. Oh, well, you fucked up there, Parker. Maybe you're not the one that's there on brains. Maybe you're there on the scholarship because you're a bloody minority white boy living in the ghetto. Anyway.
That's racist.
You're a white boy in the ghetto. It was nice to have that detachment from reality with the tropes that we all know and love. It was great to actually see the love interest, just as awkwardly in love with him. Because it's usually oh, you're the nerd. Ugh. I'm the hot
at this school. It's cool to be the nerd.
Right? And it's okay to be a ridiculously awkward, not really quite sure of where you're going in the world nerd, because we're all like that.
Jesus, Rachel. Ow.
All the dogs in the neighborhood are now going off.
So, unlike Mr. Campbell, Captain Campbell over there with his negativity, even the things that kind of didn't make sense, I'm looking at it from the point of view, especially knowing that we are guaranteed a sequel to this. This is just the first. Yes, it left us with a lot of, why'd you do that? Where are our Spidey senses? Why is this not here? Why didn't this get explained? Yeah, I could have done without the vomit cam, especially considering I am a motion sickness person. So I'm sitting there watching the cam bounce and going, oh, just tell me when he's done.
And yeah, that is a huge part of it. I'm not, no word of a lie, literally vomited into a bag. Like, that's no word of a lie. So that kind of grades down a lot.
But see, I can understand that, and that is a very personal thing, and that's why I looked at I like put my head in CJ's shoulder, and I said, just tell me when he's done with his bouncy cam shit, because I can't stand this Blair Witch Project bullshit.
Mm.
And CJ's like, I think he's done. I think it's safe, and I was able to watch and enjoy the rest of the movie. But that first, it's about, I think it's like 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, 8 to 10 minutes
is what it is. And about 2 minutes in, I'm just like, okay, I can't do it. So normally I would say, yeah, that would mess it up. And a couple of the bouncy cam things that are done by professional cams, but it's done because they're following his path when, like, he's fixing the boat. There's a section of that I'm kind of like, oh. But it's not the production team's fault that this is how it needs to be done. That first 8 minutes, you could have left out.
Yeah.
But I digress. When it's on a production level and they are trying to tell the story, and I don't want to see his uncle die, for like the 400th time?
Approximately, yes.
Probably not too far off there.
Yeah. I'm so sick of seeing his uncle die and Aunt May going through all that. And yes, they brought it up. Or no, they didn't even bring up that there was an uncle in there.
It's just
Yeah,
that
she's
Aunt May's gone through a lot.
Yeah, I think it was literally just I know she's been through a lot. Let's just let her know that you're okay. Unexplained. Perfectly okay with that. Production level movement with that 8 minutes. I'm not going to fault the rest of the 2 hours and like 40 minutes.
Yeah, Dale.
That I'm quite impressed. My children sat through all except for one pee break for.
I told you that I don't like being the wet blanket. I will move on.
So, other than a few little things like the vomit cam and a couple continuity things that I'm like, okay, there's a sequel. They can explain it. He's in Infinity War. He's doing this. They kind of explained how he ended up in Civil War, which I was okay with. So they're actually getting him reintegrated. And I do love the tongue-in-cheek Homecoming title because, let's face it, just getting him back in the last 2 years into, well, what is now Disney property, it is really kind of cool. And it's kind of a, this is where he should have been from day one. So let's just make it Homecoming. Like, you've got Homecoming to Disney, Homecoming in the movie, and we're, rebooting this entire series in this entire section of the universe, which is great.
Yeah, whoever thought of that title needs a raise.
Right?
I'm fairly sure they probably have a pretty good paycheck coming either way.
Yeah, no, they're just going to retire off that last paycheck.
Like, yeah, we're going to call this Homecoming. Why? Just because this is why.
Like one word. That's all they needed, and that's what made it.
Yeah. And of course, especially when you're walking up to the theater and on the marquee it says Spider-Man Ho. H-O.
Yeah, on the ticket, yeah. Mine was like...
I felt a little dirty walking into the theater. I felt even dirtier enjoying that little snippet of, tropiness. And then I walked out of there going, why Captain America public service announcement? Why? Couldn't we just have had some more, Howard the Duck? And CJ's like, no.
The cat thing was the best.
America. I need more PSAs in Spider-Man Homecoming 2.
And the teacher's comment of, the district paid a lot of money for this. Yeah. I know he's a war criminal now, but that's okay. We're still going to watch it because the district paid a lot of money for this.
What was it? The American Fitness Challenge?
Yes, the Captain America
Fitness Challenge.
Even though he's now a war criminal, but oh my God, really?
We're still contractually obligated to show you this.
Criminal, but,
right?
The Captain America Fitness Challenge, a part of a balanced breakfast.
Right. So I am actually going to give it a 10. And I think this is like the first movie I've actually said I'm giving it a 10 to, because I needed that mindlessness, especially considering my car was put in the shop for 2 different recalls on that day. So I'm like, great. I don't have to pay for it. So we're just going to go to the movies and I'm going to enjoy whatever mindlessness you put me in front of.
Also, you had a that helped, so.
Not denying that. And watching, especially like our youngest one, the 6-year-old, our son Aaron, sitting literally on the edge of his seat.
He almost several times.
But you
because he was leaning forward.
And you needed the edge.
Yeah. But seeing the joy that this reboot has brought to both of my kids, especially my son, it's worth it to me. And I'm hopeful that they continue the trend with the next one. Because Spider-Man is, just your average kid. And the fact that they put him in the school environment. So we have teenage Peter Parker and not, grumpy adult Peter Parker or working, grumbling through the whole thing.
Oh, working man Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of working man Spider-Man. I really like teenage Peter Parker a whole lot better than adult Peter Parker, because that also shows kids, hey, if you do good things, look, what you might be the next Spider-Man. No, it's not realistic, but you know what? It gives some of these kids something to aim for. And there's my teacher side of me.
Well, I mean, when we did Wonder Woman, we talked about the importance of representation and seeing yourself in somebody on screen. The same thing goes for kids.
Yeah.
They don't want to see a bunch of adult heroes. I mean, they do, but they also want to see themselves on the screen.
Relatability, yeah, it's definitely important.
And the representation of, you know, not Captain America, not, you know, Mr. Super Soldier with the newly perfect body, not Iron Man, the billionaire genius playboy philanthropist, not Thor, the Norse god. The really
we have
smart kid
scraggly
who's good
little
with chemistry.
Spider-Man. No six-pack, no pecs, not a hair on his chest because he hasn't hit puberty yet in the series.
By the way,
on face because he's like at that cusp of that change time, and his voice cracks.
By the way, how much do you think that the waxing bill for this movie cost for Peter Parker?
Knowing that most British people don't have a lot of aren't necessarily super hairy people, probably not much. I mean, Brits not necessarily known, especially modern day Brits, not known for their hairy chests. That's more of a Norse thing. So, like, I would imagine he's not too.
Yeah.
And if you look through the IMDb for Tom Holland, considering he's only 21, he is that fresh-faced little boy.
Yeah.
And the pictures that he's got there, honestly, the waxing bill was probably here, use a pair of tweezers.
Heard that line before.
Just yank a couple off, you'll be fine.
I haven't heard that line before at all.
Oh.
Well, you understand that at about 21 times a month. Help, never mind.
Call back.
We're doing a show. It's great. Hey, Tito's.
So I am not Jorpian boat. Because Nacho is the best scorpion ever. So again, I went into this with like really high expectations. Again, you know, and I've given the same expectations that I've given all the Spider-Man movies. Being as how it is literally my favorite superhero of all time. Like I expect a lot out of my Spider-Man. And this movie performed and overperformed in some places. Given how a lot of the writing and all of the directing was done by a dude known for the Onion News Network. Great job putting yourself into the world, like
right.
You know, I love the Stan Lee cameo. You know, the fact that, you know, yeah. And just looking that up, I'm like, oh, that's the reason why it's so genre savvy, because it's a nerd who's done the Onion stuff. So, like, also, for those who don't know, The Onion is a popular political satire website on the United States side. So he's used to poking at things and making them funny, but also, you know, something The Onion is known for, making ridiculous, you know, headlines so ridiculous that you can't necessarily know if they're true or not. Welcome to Spider-Man Homecoming.
Like, there's a direct correlation between people who smoke cannabis and getting high.
Exactly.
Hang on. No. So what you're telling me is CJ is trying to tell me that I'm the one person on this show that has fallen for an Onion headline.
Yes, absolutely.
Very subtle there, by the way. You're learning.
Which Onion headline were you fooled by?
I know that's the metaphor. That's
the metaphor, because the main writer and also the only director of this movie has done a shit ton of Onion stuff. So
the wet blanket. So that's what CJ was trying to say.
Yeah, and I was the joke is that Dale fell for it because he went into this overthinking things, just like people who read Onion headlines sometimes are.
And now
yeah, I had to explain it, Raul. Jeez, thanks.
We had a moment here.
It's not just you that I pick on, Steve, Dale. So, yeah, I absolutely love this one. And unfortunately, because I love this one so much, it kind of like the big thing that I'm afraid of is that's not going to be able to maintain this level of, you know, momentum going through. But seriously, bring back J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes, please.
I second this.
Seriously, he is the best thing to come out of OSU, which I just discovered he went to OSU.
Wait, you mean something worthwhile came out of OSU?
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
That's impressive.
Well, I mean, there's exceptions to every rule.
Right? But seriously.
Unless you are part of the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what about the clowns?
Or the Lions. Take your pick.
Though he is Commissioner Gordon in the Batman and Justice League movies. Huh. So yeah, he can do both.
He can
now.
Non-compete
Or J.K. Simmons. Anything
Yeah,
with
right.
that.
Who put that in there? I was looking up J.K. Simmons stuff.
But what? Where?
Okay, thanks, Rachel. So yeah, this was a hey, remember those things that we did in Civil War that you had questions about, and also hey, you Spider-Man people who absolutely love, who have been with us for this long and didn't feel good about the last Spider-Man movies. Hey, this is for you. Welcome home. I'm going to give this a 11 because it's my show, and I'm allowed to do that.
Do what he wanted, even though
Golden Buzzer slammed.
Do we each get 111 per calendar year that we can use?
I mean, you do. I mean, you get as many as I want, but yeah, you all can do that.
Not fair. Otherwise, I would have Wonder Woman 11. That's
We
not
will
fair.
hold a. We're going to have a revolution and overthrow CJ. Just over so we can rank
Just so
movies
you-
over 10.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of us that will be at Dragon Con in the same vicinity as this man.
No, but Kerry, you know what this means, right? You know what this means.
What?
When we do the review of The Room, we all can give it 11s because we get one every calendar here.
Because I'll give it a 1 because fuck that movie.
You haven't seen it. You don't know.
Oh, God.
We need to get the riff tracks version.
We've been through my hatred of stupid comedy, right? That's been a thing on this show and not just on S4.
Yeah, I think so.
I have touched on it.
Um,
Now we've into it.
So yeah, I absolutely fucking love this movie. Bring back J.K. Simmons for J. Jonah Jameson next episode, next movie,
episode.
next episode.
You mean in the sequel?
In the sequel, thank you for not whitewashing. Thank you for giving me a good Spider-Man movie that I haven't seen in over 10 years now. Thank you. Oh my God.
Well,
And
CJ, let's be
didn't-
realistic. Marvel has not been doing the whole whitewashing game for a very long time.
But it was particularly noticeable in this movie just how diverse it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
the level of diversity in this one, they amped it up, but they've never been one to okay, let's look at Black Panther.
Yeah. Like
We have a good-looking black man playing Black Panther.
Probably only going to have the obligatory white guy in that movie. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Dr.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to have Benedict Cumberbatch, and he will be the token white guy.
Dr. Strange is going to show up. Hi, guys, I'm white. Bye.
Bye. I'm white. Bye. I'm white, y'all. Bye.
So like how they used to do for black people in movies.
Exactly.
But
By
the
the way,
difference is that the white guy will live somehow.
I have a feeling that's where they're going to break their levity engine is on Black Panther, because the Black Panther stuff in Civil War, not necessarily the most levity based ones ever. I think that's where they're going to be like, here's your serious movie, Marvel fans. Let's see what you like of it.
Right.
Yeah, I
don't know.
don't really
They'll build
see how they're gonna.
Mm. Sorry. Just
Because
jamming.
they know the demographic that they're going with, and they don't want to ruin a good thing.
Yeah.
And there is
So
some light stuff in some of his comics. Not much.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be little pokes and prods, that kind of thing. But I think the levity engine that runs in Marvel movies Like, because even in Captain America 2, there was a bunch of, knee-slapping haha moments. I don't think there's going to be many in Black Panther. Just a hunch. I mean,
I think we'll get a couple good one-liners.
Yeah.
You might get a little bit catty.
Yeah, I'm guessing like quips between the people who know each other well, but not a whole lot of true like funny haha things. It'll be like T'Challa snarking at somebody and then they go back to being serious.
Exactly. I don't think we're gonna get any, Doctor Strange moonwalking with his cape kind of things in this one.
Are you sure?
Because they kind of like introduced the character as a serious African prince who had to deal with most of his country being attacked by this crazy freaking people who claimed to be heroes and then needing to harbor 2 war fugitives that he previously wanted to kill. Like,
I like how you're just waving Captain America around.
Then, I mean, the way that he was introduced was Captain America killed his father. Like,
hi, I'm Captain America. I killed his father. Now do 20 sit-ups.
All right, so yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, Thor Ragnarok is coming out in November, so we got that. I don't think we have like any other major geek movies coming out between here and Thor.
Not Job 2's coming out. I'm getting excited.
Yeah. Does Dark Tower count? We got that movie in December that.
No, Dark Tower is not a comic book per se. It is an actual like.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's. I mean, if we're gonna do that, we can count Valerian in that. Did we just see Jess? I think we did.
Maybe.
We can all do that.
I just want to point out, I'm sad because I will never be able to use this.
Yeah, Rachel got a new phone and doesn't anymore. Yeah, we have the Dark Tower in August, and it should still be in theaters by the time Dale gets here. So we might be able to do something with that.
Movie date.
Exactly. I mean, it is the beginning of August, but I mean, movies, especially when they're just kind of not a lot being premiered, don't have a pretty long shelf life. So
we will find something to watch so we can take Dale to the Fancy Eden Theater.
Exactly. It's not going to be the Nut Job 2. It is not. It is not going to be the Nut Job 2. No.
Yes. Please.
I draw a line. Nut jobs and sausage parties are not happening when Dale's here.
I waited until the Sausage Party was on Netflix. You are not making us rant and review and pay good money to go see Nut Job 2.
Yeah.
Also,
even if it's on Netflix.
Rachel says you.
Next rant,
not at the theater.
Next rant and review will probably be Spawn, the movie, since it's on Netflix now. Don't know when it'll be. We have a busy month coming up. But yeah, so you can reach us, of course, via email, geekioshow@gmail.com, Twitter, Facebook, shoot us a message, /geekioshow. You can give us a phone call on the Geek Hotline, 727-489-4335. That is 727-489-GEEK. By the way, next week, I am going to have that phone line open the entire episode, live, able to answer the phone calls. I figured out how to do it. So you will be able to give us a call on that line live next Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. Friday at 12 p.m. Australian Standard Time at twitch.tv/geekio show, tunein.alphageekradio.com, and still technically diamondclub.tv until hashtag Hail Muffin ends. You remember you could support this network, this show, and everything that we do on the Geek.io network at patreon.com/geekio, patreon.com/geekio, for Slack, Discord, all sorts of good stuff, ways to hang out with us, and much, much more. Hey, Thor's Magic Belt of Veto.
Next week on the Geek.io show, Mo Jackbox Shenanigans. Back to normal shows before the Dragon Con shenanigans begin. This is why I don't read ahead. I should only read the words that I'm speaking. Dragon Shenanigans.
Which, on a side note, Jackbox was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so sad I missed those. I listened to those episodes and I'm sad I was not a part of them.
We'll go back to doing Quiplash probably next week now that, I have the setup correct. So
And we gotta end the night.
Murder trivia
party.
party sounded funny. Lots of fun too.
Murder trivia party. We need to do that again.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot of fun. I might even try like the T-shirt thing because I've never actually heard of that one or seen it played. But yeah.
Also, by the way, the Hitman's Bodyguard comes out on the 18th of August. Yeah.
There you go.
But that's a part of the. Why is that not playing? That's a part of the
Summer Movie Smackdown Update.
There we go.
Transitions.
Also, it was on edit and not play. So, oops. This is week number 13. Charles joins Raul on the bench as Spider-Man Homecoming is his last movie, earning him just over $8.8 million. Despicable Me overtook Wonder Woman as the best value of the season thus far, and Charles might have a lock in the lead for now, but there are still 10 more movies to play with 5 weeks of the game left.
And ending 4 more of them are mine.
Right?
I know.
Ending
it's always backloads. She's always loading up the back end.
I mean, some guys like a bigger back end. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Spider-Man, of course, is ending its run tomorrow. War of the Planet of the Apes and Wish Upon. Again, one of those movies is making money, and the other is Wish Upon. Rachel's currently got who's going on right now. Entering in their second week. Opening this week, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets by Rachel again. Dunkirk, hopefully is going to bring me a lot of money. And Girls Trip, where you can't get an infection in your booty hole, are premiering this week.
You have to say the whole line from the movie clip.
Yes, Girls Trip, colon. You can't get an infection in your booty hole.
Which PSA, Captain America PSA. Hi, I'm Captain America. You can't get an infection in your booty hole. It's a booty hole.
Thank you for the health talk discussions with.
This is what people did letting Gail watch Night Attack.
No, I saw the trailer.
All right.
So literally no change has been made other than Charles's money going up a bit. First place still with $40.1 million. Charles, I'm still in second place with $20.7 million. Raul's in third with 15.6. Dale's in fourth with 12.7. And Rachel's in last place currently with $8.2 million. Expect that to change real quick.
Yep.
Hey, Ned, what's been going on this week?
This week on the Geek.io network, Generic Live Show reads funny Spider-Man reviews and announces the referendum of
retirement.
Oh,
wow. Ned, I know you're a genius, but let's look at the English vocabulary here.
There's no.
I was reading it off my second monitor. And that's the requirement of Trump Tracker.
You are a bad friend in a chair.
Guy in the chair.
That could be fun.
Gamer Geeks went over Ducklings. Rachel, Josh, and Carrie.
Hang on, no.
That's kind of how it was, especially in Mayhem mode.
We need to do a version of Mayhem where that's just playing and it's just.
Yes, I approve.
It only stops when we actually win.
Yeah, right.
Go on voice chat with voice meter and just play that through the voice chat.
Or a mixer like I have. I don't even need voice meter. F that. That's for chumps.
Finally, you can head on over to twitch.tv/Geek.io show and check out Rachel and her first Pokemon game with a fire red Nuzlocke. Yeah.
It is a modified Nuzlocke because, let's face it, when your Caterpie at level 4 one-shot criticals your fucking Mankey because your husband says, oh, he'll live through a hit, you go, fuck you, I'm getting me a Mankey.
Yeah, Rachel's luck indicates she's going to get a Pikachu in freaking Viridian Forest at a 5% chance, a Mankey in Route 22 with a 2% chance, and then critical hit it with a fucking Caterpie to kill it.
Yeah, my Caterpie was level 4, the Mankey was level 5.
Level 4?
It had one hit. was fine. I was like, okay. I'm like, it should live through one of my hit. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Critical dead. Are you fucking kidding me?
And your Caterpie has its rare ability.
Yes.
So yeah,
CJ is not happy with my Nuzlocke, but I'm amused.
Gonna go. By the way, we grinded for quite some time last night and today. So yeah, they're quite a bit stronger. We're not getting.
Boy.
Yeah, Rachel did her Rachel thing, and now pretty much the average party level's 18 because she didn't realize that Brock's stuff was only 10 and 12.
Yeah, I'm a little overzealous with my grind. But
So
if you look at our
that's how
Final Fantasy 12, CJ, we're at level 70 and we're only 27% through the game. So I have a problem. My name is Rachel. I'm a grindaholic.
The Nuzlocke, if you're expecting a lot of deaths in the Nuzlocke, probably not. And it's cartridge based, not ROM based. So like, I have no way of manipulating that.
There you go.
You're not going to have the eldritch horror names like Team 4 started.
Exactly. No, I kind of wish. Though I might have Rachel ROM play like, since we can only do GBA on the Retron, unless I can mod her 3D or her DS to be able to play or stream that stuff. I might just have her go through all of the games, nuzlocking through ROMs, and mess with her. I mean, not that I'm saying that on the internet.
CJ.
No. There you go. All right. Also, I forgot to put in here that I am playing Disney games now. And
yeah, Dale does Disney. Triple D is live on the Twitch channel.
Dale does Cars too, which
for some reason Dale started with Cars 2 and not good Disney games.
Hey, get the crap out of the way.
Yourself, don't you, Dale?
Get the crap out of the way.
In fact, I own 20 of them.
I mean, other than Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, there is Castle of Illusion. There's DuckTales. There's
okay, DuckTales gets a pass because DuckTales, but
the Castle of Illusion. That's a freaking fantastic game.
And Epic.
Yeah, Epic Mickey.
Even though the bundle ending came with Epic Mickey 2, not first one.
The continuity is not needed, so it's all right.
Yeah.
All right, we got show titles. Suit Lady,
lots of show titles.
Suit Lady, please read the show titles.
We've got Technical Difficulties, Duckstep Breaks the Stream, Both Streamy and Rhapsody, Never Let Kangaroo Jerking Die, 2 Weeks, White Sticky Stuff, Young Raoul, 98% Effective, Grumpy Dad Iron Man, That Girl from Shake It Up Being Very Weird, Awkward Hugging, No Awkward Hugging, Trying to Be Superman, Iron Man, and Spider-Man Buddy Cop Movie. Spider-Man's worst villain is poverty. The 90s never happened. We don't talk about that either. One More Day.
Oh!
Scooterman. Best not Christian Bale Batman voice. Iron Dad. Foreshadowing. Yay Spony. What the hey ho, let's go. Headcanoning people's faces. Yay continuity, or something. Not a bald guy in a green leotard. Voyeur Vulture. Villains Can Do Math. You Will Lose Your Scrotal Sack. Free to Be Dale. We don't discuss those movies. That's not a good combination. Go buy your bread products, or however that works. Just Another Day in Australia. Defending My House with a Chainsaw. Dale Does Homecoming. The district spent a lot of money on this. Touched every nerve. Why are you leaving? Vomit Cam. So bigly right now. It's great when it works. Spider-Man the Musical. High schooler Channing Tatum. Spider-Man made my goddamn ice cream melt. Mr. Sprinkles. Neapolitan. Killer Cones. Beating the crap out of old men in costumes. Tony Stark is the real villain. Daddy issues. Goddamn white people. Shut up, Karen. Make Ray Charles blue again. Erotic trope presentation. Pornography of tropes. White boy in the ghetto. Working man Spider-Man. Just yank a couple off. You'll be fine. And I'm white. Bye.
Wow. Is that a record? Or a show
Barrage of show titles.
You asked me to do show titles, I fucking do show titles.
Yeah, thank you.
Carrie don't play.
Yeah, Carrie does not mess around.
No.
I like how several of us are just putting several of our nicknames in places like.
We have to have more than one vote on this one.
Yeah, there's too many. Pick your top three. Whoever gets the most wins.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. We will see you right back here next week with more jackboxing. I'm not sure of the game yet. Maybe both of them. Or we might just spend the entire show jackboxing. I'm not sure yet. It'll be close enough to my birthday.
She said.
By the way, the episode after that, the entire episode of Boss Monster. Congratulations.
Yay, Boss Monster.
Yeah, digital Boss Monster for my birthday. Yes, birthday.
Birthday?
Birthday. Hold on. Birthday. Oh, birthday. Next week and the week after, because I'm me, and that's how it works. I say that jokingly, but hey, I don't actually believe that. It just happened to work out that we've been falling in love with jackboxing on the show, on the stream, and the week after is my normal weekly, is my normal birthday, making my friends play games thing that I do.
Do you realize how delightfully dirty that sounds?
Jackboxing,
jackboxing on the stream.
That is the entire point of it. They did that on purpose.
Like I said at the beginning, either way, there's going to be white sticky stuff everywhere.
Exactly. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
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 This has been a Geek.io Media Network production. Copyright 2017.
Someone should write lyrics to that lullaby.
All right. Thank you.